A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Rice Checks and Wheat Checks, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy are climbing a steep mountain on the planet Venus in pursuit of a criminal.
We're on his trail, all right, Commander. See? Here's where he dug a foothold.
Watch your step, Happy. It's a 2,000-foot drop if you slip.
I think I'd better rest a minute, sir. I'm getting dizzy. Everything's getting dark.
I noticed the same thing, but it's not dizziness. My head's perfectly clear.
Look at the sun. I can hardly see it. It must be an eclipse.
Venus doesn't have a moon. There can't be an eclipse.
Smoke of rockets. It's pitch dark.
This is Vogan's work. He's got the blackout beam on us. If we try to move another inch in this darkness, we'll drop into the chasm.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, the Serpents of Saturn. Here he comes, gang. Here he comes, the fastest boy on roller skates in the neighborhood. Get up and go, and look at him go. Wow! Now, there's a Space Patroller who really has it. He just got up from a good, nourishing breakfast. Just finished off a big bowl of Rice Checks with plenty of milk and sugar. He's packed full of action energy, the kind of action energy that'll help to make you a whizzer on rollers and help make you so alert that you can come up with the right answers in your classroom. Yes, sir, Space Patrollers, you start off any day ready for action when you eat a whopping good breakfast with Rice Checks. Because Rice Checks is tops for get up and go. Tops for taste, too. A delicious triple toasted shredded rice treat that's good with milk or cream and super good with fruit. And tops for size because it's bite size. The just right size for easy eating. So, gang, try Rice Checks yourself. And try Wheat Checks, that wonderful, wonderful whole wheat cereal. Rich in energy, swell tasting, and bite size. So don't forget Checks, rice, or wheat. It's tops three ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. Look for them in the red and white checkerboard packages with the picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the front and the neat free Space Patrol trading card inside. Rice Checks, Wheat Checks. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, the Serpents of Saturn. Ordinarily, the appearance of the monthly Space Patrol Bulletin is a routine event. It causes no excitement, except perhaps among the officers and men of the publication section who are charged with the responsibility of preparing this official monthly report on Space Patrol activities. But this time, there is considerable interest in the document by every level of command. In his central office at Space Patrol Headquarters on Terra, Commander Corey frowns and shakes his head as he examines a copy of the bulletin. Cadet Happy, returning from an errand in another part of headquarters, fails to notice the commander's unusually serious manner.
Gee, Commander, everybody's sure studious all of a sudden. All over headquarters, people are reading the bulletin, even the file clerks. I guess the editors added a page of jokes.
There's certainly nothing funny in this issue of the bulletin, Happy.
Sorry, sir.
Especially in the Secretary General's notes in the margin of this copy.
Something wrong?
Plenty.
Those robberies, is that it?
Partly, but it's more than that. Do you realize that in the past 10 days there have been 23 cases of assaults against Space Patrollers? And all apparently without reason.
I heard about a couple of them, sir. One on Venus and another one on Pluto.
Well, if we hadn't been so busy on Neptune the past week, I'd have alerted our men to take special precautions. Now, take a look at this breakdown here in the bulletin.
All over the solar system. Lowell City, Jupiter City, the Lunar Fleet.
And in every case, our men were the victims of unprovoked assaults. Jumped from ambush, beaten.
But why?
Well, I think it's part of a carefully organized attempt to demoralize the Space Patrol.
You mean some sort of a gang is behind it, Commander?
Yes. Looking at each incident individually, one might think that a group of hoodlums just decided to gang up on a Space Patroller.
Uh-huh.
When you put them all together, a rather interesting coincidence shows up. You notice whenever a beating occurred, A robbery followed within a day or two in the same locality.
Oh, then you think the gang behind the robberies is also behind the beatings?
That's about the size of it, Happy. Apparently, the plan is this, to try to get our agents concerned about their own personal safety and reduce their efficiency.
Well, if it keeps on like this, it might work.
We're not going to let it. This gang has succeeded so far because it's well organized and evidently has spies in high places.
What's the plan, sir?
Well, the last attack on space patrollers occurred in Jupiter City at the spaceport, right?
Yes, sir. Those two off-duty pilots. Oh, you mean if they follow the pattern, the gang may be planning a robbery at Jupiter City?
Exactly. And the only thing we can do now is to alert our men in Jupiter City.
Major Robertson to Commander Corey.
Robbie's calling, sir.
Yes, Robbie?
Commander, we've got another one.
A robbery?
Yeah, and it's really serious. A model of the blackout beam has disappeared right out of the Jupiter City lab.
Jupiter City? Commander, you sure called that one.
Yes, but too late. Robbie, blast off for Jupiter City immediately.
Yes, sir.
Make a thorough check of security measures. I want a brainograph test made of everyone at the Jupiter City lab. Spaceophone a complete report to me.
Meantime, in one of the finest buildings in Saturn City, capital of the ringed planet, a huge, broad-shouldered man sits behind a desk in a large but simply furnished office. Coiled on the desk, in a lifelike pose, is a startling example of the taxidermist art, a hooded cobra. The large man presses a button, and a moment later, a door opens, and Thad Bogan swaggers in.
Yes, Mr. Gargeth?
Logan, the Venus Express will blast off in half an hour. You will be aboard.
Yes, sir.
When you arrive in Venus City, we'll charter an atmosphere ship and go to our hideout at the base of Mount Janik. You will pose as a botanist collecting samples.
I understand the Venus wildflowers are quite beautiful this time of year.
You can admire the flowers while you wait for Preston.
What's my business with Preston, Mr. Gargeth?
You will give him an instrument which you will find in the emergency tool locker of the atmosphere ship. The light neutralizer.
Oh, you've got the blackout beam.
Of course. Right out of the Jupiter City Space Patrol laboratory.
I'll bet Corey's tearing his hair.
Unfortunately for our cause, Corey is given to more direct and effective action. However, I think we can divert Corey's attention.
I'll rough up some more of his men?
This time I'll rough up Corey himself.
That's taking on quite a job, isn't it, Mr. Gargeth?
It's time we struck at Corey before he strikes at me.
Yes, but how?
It's very simple. Corey will be informed that the Cobra will rob Automatic Factory R18 outside of Saturn City.
But, Mr. Gargeth, the Space Patrol doesn't even know your organization exists. Why tip him off?
We can't hope to keep our operations a secret indefinitely. Corey must have figured out by now that these robberies have been masterminded by one organization.
Yes, but to use our secret name.
Why do you think I selected Cobra as my insignia?
Well,
You think I'm just being melodramatic, don't you? I selected the Cobra as an emblem because of its psychological effect. To the average person, the Cobra suggests something silent, ominous, and deadly. Isn't that right?
yes, Mr. Gargeth.
Fear is a useful weapon. Before long, we will have the inhabitants of all 10 planets shuddering at the mention of the Cobra. Even the Space Patrol.
Well, how does that take care of Corey?
You think Corey would miss a chance to capture the leader of a gang that has pulled off more than 20 daring and successful robberies?
Oh, I don't suppose he would.
That's why I'm going to lure him to Factory R18.
Just how are you going to do that?
There's a civilian clerk named Walter Reiner at Corey's headquarters on Terra.
Oh, yes, he gave us some information once.
Reiner isn't much use to us, too undependable. But I'm going to plant some information on Reiner and have Corey tipped off. Corey will think he's uncovered a plot. And fly right into our trap.
Sometime later, at Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Appy enters the commander's office with an extremely nervous young man, Walter Reiner.
This is Reiner, sir.
Thanks, Happy. Sit down, Reiner.
Yes, Commander, thank you.
I'll tell you why I've brought you here. I've received 2 anonymous tips that you have some information about a robbery.
A robbery? No, sir, that's not true.
And somebody seems quite determined to get you into trouble. Can you think of anyone who would have reason to do this to you?
Why, no, sir. Believe me, if I knew anything about a robbery, I'd report it at once.
According to these 2 informants, you're supposed to be carrying written information on you right now. Information that you're to pass on to someone else.
But that's not true, Commander. You can search me if you want. Here, I'll empty my pockets. You can examine everything. Here's my identification folder. You can look through that. There is nothing in it but...
Something wrong?
It's a slip of paper. But I don't know how it got there.
Let me see it. Plan 4 is now in effect. The Cobra will personally supervise a theft of radioactive strontium from automatic factory R18, north of Saturn City, at 1800 hours Universal Star Time.
Smoking rockets.
I don't know anything about it. Honestly, Commander. I know it looks bad, but I swear I don't know anything about
This
it.
Cobra that's mentioned here, does that mean anything to you?
No, sir, not a thing. It's a horrible trick.
All right, Reiner, all
It's
right.
somebody's idea of a joke.
I said it's all right, Reiner.
You mean you believe me?
Somebody was very anxious for me to find this on you. Just go back to your work and don't say anything to anybody about it, understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commander. Thank you very much.
Well, somebody sure must have it in for Reiner to play a trick like that.
What Reiner watched, Happy. I'll assign a man to trail him and contact Saturn Space Patrol. I'm going to put a heavy guard on Factory R18.
You mean that Reiner isn't on the level and there really is going to be a robbery?
I think someone's trying to lure me to the factory. As for Reiner, he may be an innocent dupe. We'll watch him for a while.
Commander, he's coming back.
Commander, I got to tell you something.
Yes, Reiner, what is it?
I didn't tell you the whole truth before. When you let me go, I was relieved. Then I got scared. I'm afraid of what they might do to me.
What do you mean by they?
The gang. The Cobra gang.
And you did know about that note?
No, sir.
Well, who is this Cobra?
I don't know. But he's got a powerful organization of criminals. They're behind all of those robberies.
And you're a member of the gang?
No, not exactly. I just sold him some information a few months ago about some security control procedure.
Whom did you deal with?
It was a man named Wogan. Thad Wogan. He's one of the higher-ups.
Why are you telling all this now?
Because I think they want to get me out of the way. They're afraid I'll...
Double-cross them the way you did the Space Patrol?
I'll make up for it. I know more about the gang than they think I do. I know their secret space-phone frequency.
All right, Reiner. Start at the beginning and give me the whole story.
Even after hours of careful questioning, Commander Corey is able to obtain only a few useful bits of information about the band of criminals. Then, with Reiner in custody, Buzz and Appy begin the tedious task of checking the gang's frequencies.
Nothing on this band so far, sir. You suppose Reiner made a mistake in the frequencies?
What he told us checks with the brainograph test.
Imagine that little rat selling security secrets. I'd sure like to know who's the head of this.
Bogan calling Cobra.
Hold it, Happy.
Bogan the Cobra.
We've got something.
Bogan the Cobra.
Cobra here. Go ahead, Bogan.
I'm set up at Maljanik.
Have you tried the neutralizer?
Yeah, it works fine. We can put it to uses the Space Patrol never dreamed of.
They've got the light neutralizer.
All right. Preston will relieve you of the machine at about 1700 hours tomorrow. Just sit tight, Cobra out.
Mount Janik. It's about 300 miles north of Venus City. Let's get to the ship, Happy. Logan is going to be relieved of that light neutralizer sooner than he thinks.
High above the cloud-draped peak of Mount Janik, the Terra 5 circles slowly. Then, using repel array, begins to descend as Buzz and Happy scan the terrain by sensitive viewscopes. In a small building at the base of the mountain, Thad Bogan clicks on a spaceophone.
Cobra calling Bogan. Come in, Bogan.
Logan here, go ahead.
Something's gone wrong. Don't wait for Preston. Take the light neutralizer and get out of there.
What's the matter?
Corey didn't fall for that robbery. He's arrested Reiner, and the little sap knows more about our organization than you thought he did.
He doesn't know a thing about it. Nothing that could hurt us anyway.
Look, Bogan, do what I tell you. Get the neutralizer and get out of there. I'll contact you later. Cobra out.
Now, listen, boss. What's he getting all excited about? Everything was just fine, and... Who could that be? Well, this paralyzer ray will take care of the situation.
All right, drop that gun.
Sure, Space Patroller. Like this.
Get him, Hap!
Now, while you're both relaxed, enjoying the effects of my paralyzer ray, I'm going to make sure I won't be bothered by you again. This building is quite flimsily constructed. Have you noticed?
A few touches with this atomo torch, and this room will be a roaring inferno.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles reporting on a plane that can fly 1,000 miles without refueling, the North American FJ-2 Fury. In a moment, we'll hear from the well-known test pilot on this Navy jet plane, J. Ray Donahue, Jr. The Fury is a carrier-based fighter armed with 4 20-millimeter cannons. It flies 650 miles per hour, has an altitude mark of 45,000 feet, its length 37 feet. Now, J. Ray Donahue, Jr. recorded at Edwards Air Force Base.
To fly at supersonic speeds, a test pilot must have plenty of energy. That's why I always get a good night's sleep and start the day off with a good breakfast cereal like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They have plenty of energy, and they taste mighty fine. And I know that you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So take a tip from J. Ray Donahue, Jr., Bob Love, and other top test pilots. Make your cereals Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Serpent of Saturn. Gargoth, who calls himself the Cobra, has organized a band of criminals that has successfully committed scores of daring robberies. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy traced Gargoth's chief henchman, Thad Bogan, to a hideout at the base of Mount Janik on the planet Venus. When Buzz and Happy entered the small building, Bogan rendered the space patrollers helpless with a paralyzer ray. Then, to prevent pursuit, he set fire to the building. Now, as the flames roar about them, Buzz and Happy struggle against the effects of the paralyzer ray.
Hey, Commander, I can move a little. Try to stand up, Happy. The heat in this place is like a furnace. If we can't shake the ray effect off in a couple of minutes, we're finished. I can move my arms, but I can't stand up. I made it. My legs are numb, but I can walk. Here, give me your hand. Lean on me. It's wearing off. I'll make it. A few more steps, we'll be outside the building. We made it. Wow. I got a lucky break. The charge in Bogan's ray gun was fairly light. Commander, look back at the building. We got out just in time. Can you see Bogan anywhere? No, sir. The smoke is too thick. Hey, but he couldn't have blasted off yet. Would have hurt his ship. There he is, headed for his ship. I see him now. Hey, what's that he's carrying? Must be the light neutralizer. If my legs weren't so numb, we could catch him. Uh-oh, he saw us. I just wish he'd come back here. He acts like he's considering it. Well, he's not going to risk getting within range of our ray guns. I bet he wishes he'd taken them from us. He was so sure his fire trap was going to work. Hey, that's funny. He's not going to his ship after all. He's heading for the mountain. Come on, Hap, let's try to follow him. Yes, sir. Why didn't he go to his ship? We couldn't have stopped him from blasting off. Oh, it's an atmosphere job. Logan probably figures we could space a phone for a patrol ship to go after him. Yeah, sure. He's taking a chance on losing us on the mountain. Have your miniature spaceophone, Hap? Yes, sir. Report to Venus City headquarters and keep on after Bogan.
With Buzz and Happy doggedly following him, Thad Bogan climbs higher and higher up the steep face of Mount Janik. At first, he outdistances them. But as the minutes go by, the effects of the paralyzer ray wear off, and Buzz and Happy start gaining on Bogan.
Bogan's sure hanging onto that light neutralizer. If he'd throw it away, he'd be able to climb a lot faster.
He won't drop it till he has to.
I hope he hangs on to it. After the way we're risking our necks to get it back.
I'll say this for Bogan. He climbs like a mountain goat.
I'll say. Hey, Commander, is that model the only light neutralizer in existence?
Yes. This model was to be tested, then if proved successful, a larger model was to be made into a spaceship.
Well, does it really black out light completely?
It can, but it's designed to reduce the sun's glare on ships making flights on sunward vectors, particularly between the inner planets.
It sure would come in handy on construction jobs on space platforms.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it looks like Bogan's going to take us clear to the top.
Make sure he doesn't get directly above us and drop a rock on us.
We're still on his trail, sir. See? That's where he dug a foothold.
Watch your step, Happy. It's a 2,000-foot drop if you slip.
I think I'd better rest a minute, sir. Getting dizzy. Everything's getting dark.
I noticed the same thing, but it's not dizziness. My head's perfectly clear.
Hey, look at the sun. I can hardly see it. Hey, there must be an eclipse.
Eclipse on Venus?
Yeah, that's right. Venus doesn't have a moon. But there can't be an eclipse. But something's shutting off the sun. It's a heavy fog, maybe.
Don't move, Hap.
Smoking rockets, it's pitch dark.
Logan's turned the blackout beam on us, the light neutralizer. If we try to move another inch in this darkness, we'll drop into the chasm.
Well, isn't he in the same fix we are?
Not necessarily. The neutralizer can be adjusted to dim out light all around you, or it can be focused in a beam.
If we only had our atomo lights.
They wouldn't work, Happy. The field of the neutralizer cuts out all light waves.
What are we going to do? We can't go back down. We can't go ahead, and... Well, Vulcan's got us at his mercy.
There's one thing. He can't see us.
He doesn't have to see us. All he's got to do is wait until we make a false move, and we're goners.
Wait a minute, Hap. There's a good-sized rock here next to me. I can feel it. I'm going to try to give it a shove down the side of the mountain. When it drops, let out a yell.
I get it. Make him think we've fallen.
Right. Here goes.
Hap, look out! Commander! How was that?
Very realistic. For a minute, I was afraid you did fall. Press close to the cliff and keep very still.
Hey, he turned off the neutralizer. I can see.
He'll probably wait to be sure we're gone.
Oh, I hope he doesn't come back down here to investigate.
Vulcan to Cobra. Vulcan to Cobra.
Listen, he's got a miniature spacerphone. Turn your volume up, Hap.
Vulcan to Cobra.
Cobra here. Where are you?
Halfway to the top of Mount Shonic. Corey, this cadet were after me.
Court? They're on Venus? I
take it easy, Mr. Gargan. It's all right. Corey and that cadet won't bother us anymore. I took good care of them.
Good. How?
I turned on the light neutralizer. They couldn't see in the blackout beam and fell off the ledge.
Nice work, Vulcan.
Yeah, but I'm still on the mountain, and I don't like it.
I'll come and get you.
Think I want to wait up here while you come all the way from Saturn?
I'm not on Saturn. I'm in a spaceship not very far from Venus.
Well, that's better. Get her as soon as you can. Corey may have notified the Space Patrol before he fell.
All right, you get to the top of the peak. Everything looks clear. I'll land and pick you up. Cobra out.
Hurry.
So the Cobra's name is Gargan.
Vulcan thought he was on Saturn. Probably that's the headquarters of the outfit.
Possible.
What do we do now? Tip off the Venus City Space Patrol?
Use our spacerphone. Vogan might hear it.
Sure.
We'll take a chance on sneaking up on Vogan. If we capture him before Gargoth gets here, we may be able to trick him into landing.
And then we'll have the Cobra.
Come on, let's go. Stay close to the cliff so he can't see us.
Slowly and cautiously, Buzz and Happy resume their climb up the steep mountainside. Occasionally, they get a glimpse of Vogan far above them. Then they press close to the cliff and wait.
We've had one good break. Vogan doesn't ever look down.
He's probably afraid he'll get dizzy.
And the going's not so steep now, sir.
We're getting near the top. I'm thankful for this growth of brush at the summit. It'll help us hide from Vogan.
Hope we can get him before the Cobra shows up.
Drop, Happy. Hit the dirt.
Did he see us?
I guess not. He's going on. But he started to look down this way. We better wait a few minutes.
At last, Vogan reaches the summit of Mount Jonic. Wearily, he lays down the light analyzer, then sits on a rock to rest. Silently, Buzz and Happy creep closer.
Careful, Happy. Don't let him hear us.
Well, there's not much cover from here on. Do we rush him?
Let's try to get a few yards closer. If he has a chance to use that blackout beam, we could never find him.
Yeah. Oh, gee.
Get the neutralizer, Hap. I'll handle Vogan.
Corey!
I'll take that gun, Vogan. All right, Vogan. Had enough?
Yeah.
Happy, got the neutralizer?
Yes, sir. Hey, Commander, it's a spaceship.
It's probably Vogan's pal. Better all get out of sight before he gets close enough to see us. Come on, Vogan. Get over there by that brush. You stand out where you can be seen. We'll be in the brush right behind you. Yeah, sure. I'm coming.
Cobra to Vogan. Cobra to Vogan.
Answer him, Vogan. Don't try to warn him. Okay. Vogan, to Cobra. Go ahead.
There aren't any ships in the vicinity. I'm coming in to pick you up.
All right, come ahead. Corey's here. Watch out. Give me that spacerphone.
Corey, you told me Corey was dead.
I was very much alive, Gargan. Or Cobra, wherever you are. Now, make it easy on yourself and land, or I'll have every patrol ship in the Venus sector after you.
You'd better talk fast, then, because I'm going to blast you off that mountain with a space torpedo.
No, boss. Please don't.
You've made a stupid blunder, Vulcan, but I assure you that the rocket is meant only for Corey. If you get it, well, it's an unfortunate accident.
Space torpedoes? We don't stand a chance. We've got to hide. We've got to hide.
Happy sure your space phone's turned off?
It is, sir.
Good. Let's have a look at that light neutralizer.
That's not going to save us, not from torpedoes.
See, this setting ought to be about right for our purpose. Now, we'll just set the neutralizer here on the ground. Now, come on. Get out of the field of darkness, quickly.
I can't see. Of course you can't, stupid. Just do what the commander tells you. Come on. Hey. We're out of the field. He can see us.
If you stay in the brush, just get far away from that field of neutralized light. Yeah, we should be safe enough.
Commander, you've made a nice target. From here in the ship, the field of darkness looks like a black hole on the top of the mountain. A black round hole. Somewhere inside that hole you were hiding. So futile, Commander. So pathetically futile.
He's making a pass right over us. Fired a torpedo. Smoke and rockets. The field of darkness is gone. And when you look at that hole, what a blast.
Yeah, there goes a perfectly good light neutralizer blown to bits.
Yeah. And also, there goes the Cobra. He figures he finished us.
You sure he's not coming back? It doesn't look like it.
I sure hate to see that crook get away.
He'd better enjoy his triumph while he can, Happy. Because we're going after the Cobra, and we won't give up till we get him.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Hi, Space Patrollers. This is Captain Tufel.
And Cadet Happy.
I'm reporting to you on Rice Chex.
And I'm reporting to you on Wheat Chex.
Rice Chex. Triple toasted shredded rice biscuits. The taste mighty good. Tops for taste. That's Rice Chex.
Wheat Chex. Boy, they've got a swell whole wheat flavor that just can't be beat. Tops for taste. That's Wheat Chex, too.
And Rice Chex are made in that modern, bite-sized design for easy eating. Tops for size. That's Rice Chex.
Wheat Chex are bite-sized for super easy eating. Tops for size, too.
And, gang, after a good, nourishing breakfast with Chex, rice, or wheat, you'll see their tops for get up and go.
Real Space Patrol get up and go, like the Commander has.
Chex, a good word to remember at breakfast time or any time, because
they're tops 3 ways: for taste, size, and get up and go.
Look for the red and white checkerboard packages with the picture of the Commander or
the swell picture of me on the outside.
Yes, and the terrific Space Patrol trading card on the inside. Rice Chex.
Wheat Chex.
And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are exploring the system of unused water mains under Jupiter City, searching for a hidden laboratory operated by the Cobra Gang. After trudging nearly a mile in a crouched position, Happy moans.
Oh, my aching back. I sure wish this pipe was 6 inches bigger.
From the chart, the lab should be just a few hundred yards ahead.
Commander, there's air blowing through the main.
Yes, it's getting stronger every second.
This is like being in a wind tunnel. What's causing it?
Yes, being forced to the main by the water behind it.
Water? What water?
From the reserve tank. Gargot knows we're down here, and he's trying to drown us.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Gems of Jupiter, when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Len Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Deverett. Other players were Ken Mayer, Norman Jolly, and Bela Kovach. Dick Tufel speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol! Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast for Armed Forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Checks and Wheat Checks, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Commander Corey is in a spaceship trying to contact Cadet Happy, who's in a spacesuit on the surface of Neptune's second moon.
Commander Corey calling Cadet Happy. Commander Corey calling Cadet Happy on Neptune number 2. Happy, disregard previous orders. You can break spacephone silence. Come in, Happy.
Cadet Happy here, Commander.
This is Urgent Hap. Gargot's men have orders to keep you from reaching the scout ship.
I know. Well, one of his gang's right behind me now with the blast gun.
Better surrender, Hap. There's nothing else you can do.
But, Commander, I've got to reach that ship. I'm low on oxygen. In 5 minutes, all the air will be gone.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Test for Survival. Hey, Space Patroller, it's getting kind of late and I'm getting kind of hungry. Hey, let's take time out right now for a big bowl full of rice checks.
Swell, Captain Two-Fellow. Rice checks. Tops with me.
Tops with me, too, Space Patroller. And it'll be tops with you, gang. Tops 3 ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. There's one bowl. And here's one from me. Space Patrollers, when you fill up your own bowls with those neat triple toasted shredded rice biscuits, you're getting one spoonful after another of the easiest, tastiest bite-sized eating ever, because rice checks are tops for taste and size, and tops for get up and go, too. Mornings after you finish off a good, nourishing breakfast with rice checks, you'll see what I mean. You'll be right there with the right answers in school and the right scores in sports.
If you like whole wheat, try Wheat Checks. It's tops, too.
So look for Rice Checks and Wheat Checks in the red and white checkerboard packages with a picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside.
And the swell free Space Patrol trading card inside.
Rice Checks, Wheat Checks. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, Test for Survival. For 1,000 Space Patrol cadets, today marks the beginning of an adventure. These 1,000 cadets have been selected to take part in the annual survival test, to pit their skill and courage against the rigors and problems of outer space and the simulated opposition of an enemy force. Of all the cadets chosen for these tests, it's safe to say that only one is disappointed with the assignment. That solitary individual is Cadet Happy. Glumly, he sits in Commander Corey's central office at Space Patrol headquarters, staring at his special orders.
Oh, all the times for this to happen.
Bad news, Happy?
The worst. I'm on the list for the survival tests. Now I can't go with you to Pluto. Unless you could sort of...
No.
I didn't think you would, sir. Well, it's up to me to take my turn, I guess.
What kind of assignment did you draw, Happy?
A real cream puff deal. Here's what the orders say. Cadet Happy will pilot Scout Ship T681 to Neptune Moon number 2, landing in Sector D4 at 0800 hours Universal Star Time. Upon landing, the ship will be considered inoperative, including all weapons and spaceophone equipment.
Oh, you're to act as though the ship were knocked out of action.
Yes, sir. And then it says, you will attempt to reach the communications outpost in Sector F9 by 2200 hours without revealing your presence to enemy forces concealed between the 2 sectors.
Sounds interesting.
Spaceophone silence will be maintained throughout the entire operation. Enemy forces will be provided with special long-range ray guns that will register hits on the sensitized outer coating of the spacesuit. Big deal.
Sounds like fun, huh?
Fun? It's kids' stuff. Here I'll be sneaking around craters playing hide-and-seek with other cadets that are pretending they're the enemy. What's the good of it?
Don't get the idea this is just a game, Happy. You'll be testing new equipment. What you and the other cadets learn in this survival test might easily help to save a life someday.
I suppose so, Commander, but... Gee, if I could go to Pluto with you, I could have some real excitement.
I'm not looking for any big adventure on this trip, Happy.
You're not? But if this Steve Hegdorn is as tough as Morton says he is, and if he's part of the Cobra gang...
If things go the way I plan, Hegdorn won't have time to get tough. You see, when I walk into Hegdorn's office in Pluto City, I'll be in civilian clothes. He'll assume I'm one of Morton's men coming to make the regular protection payoff. When he accepts the money, I'll take it in for extortion.
And maybe get a line on how we can find Gargot.
Right. By then you'll be through with your survival test, and I promise you that you can help get Gargot from the rest of his Cobra gang.
Okay, Commander. But I still wish I was going with you instead of to this garden party on Neptune's moon.
The training command doesn't plan garden parties, Hap. These tests are going on all over the solar system. Every detail has been worked out by Space Patrol officers who have been through the mill. You can be sure they've planted some obstacles to take the cockiness out of anyone who doesn't take the test seriously.
Oh, I'll be on the alert, Commander.
Good. Obey every order to the letter. And good luck, Happy.
Thank you, Commander, and same to you.
The Zenith Consultant Service occupies a small suite of offices in the Phobos building in Lowell City on the planet Mars. A curious observer might notice that a peculiar assortment of people pass in and out of the office during the course of a week. But then a consultant service would be expected to welcome various types of people in need of consultation. One would never suspect that the Zenith Consultant Service was a device to hide the operations of a syndicate of criminals, a respectable front for Emil Gargoth, leader of the Cobra Gang. At this moment, Gargoth is consulting with Rex Kralin, who has just arrived from Terra.
You're very enterprising, Kralin. But frankly, I don't see how this schedule of Space Patrol survival tests is of any interest to me.
I just thought you ought to know that these cadets are likely to pop up anywhere for the next few days.
What do I care about a lot of rookies? Let them play their games.
But, Mr. Gargoth, there'll be 4 units crawling all over Neptune Moon number 2.
Moon number 2?
Now, look here at Problem 9. They picked an area right near our underground storage station.
All the desolate places in the universe, they had to pick this one.
Of course, the station is well hidden, but just by chance they might stumble across it.
Yes. And we've got thousands of credits worth of stolen goods there.
There might be time to get it off the moon before the Space Patrol tests begin.
I don't have the ships available. What kind of activity is going on in that sector, Kralin?
Here's a chart of the area. The cadet will start here, at this point. Try to work his way to here. There'll be about 20 men scattered all through here, in the craters, acting as enemy opposition.
Oh, I see. They're chasing all over this region, trying to capture that one cadet.
That's right. Actually, they won't have to capture him to put him out of the game. They've got a special ray gun that projects a pinpoint beam. It's harmless, of course, but it produces a photochemical effect on the spacesuit. The suits in the test have a thin coating sensitive to those particular rays.
All right. If he gets out of the game early, they'll go home. Is that it?
Well, yes, those in that particular problem will.
Then let's hope a dumb cadet draws that sector.
It isn't going to work that way. That assignment goes to Commander Corey's sidekick, Cadet Happy.
Kralin, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. We'll capture Cadet Happy, and then we can make Corey come to terms.
Capture Corey's cadet? But, Mr. Gargoth, that's...
It'll be easy. I'll have a ship drop you off on Neptune's second moon before the cadet gets there. You can grab him before any of the other space patrollers see him.
Me?
Oh, you're the ideal man for the job. You were in the Space Patrol once, weren't you?
Before I get kicked out.
Here's your chance to get even. Now listen. Here's the way we'll work.
Those who are forced to deal with Steve Hegdorn on the planet Pluto regard him as a man dangerous to trifle with. Surrounded by brutal thugs, Hegdorn exacts tribute from law-abiding citizens and from lesser racketeers alike. Too intimidated to report to the Space Patrol, his victims continue to pay the increasing demands of Hegdorn. Those who live in dread of Steve Hegdorn would be greatly astonished to learn that there is one man in the universe that Hegdorn fears.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Gargoth. Truly I am.
Your being sorry, Hegdorn, doesn't make up for the fact that you're 5,000 credits short.
I know. It's that Morton account. I got my men out now trying to locate Morton. He may have left Pluto City.
That's your problem. I put you in charge of my affairs on Pluto because I thought you could handle things efficiently.
I appreciate that, Mr.
Do you think I have time to get on the space phone to find out why you can't collect from your clients? There's no place in the Cobra Gang for incompetence, Hegdorn. If you prevent Morton to get away with this, others will try it.
I'll get the 5,000 from Morton, I promise.
And get this, Hegdorn. If the Pluto quota is short by as much as 1 credit next month, you're through. Cobra out.
Oaks, come in here.
Yes, Mr. Hegdorn.
Have you found Morton yet?
No, sir, but the boys...
I'm not interested what the boys think. Find Morton and get that 5,000 credits. There is no place in this organization for incompetence. Now get out.
Elsewhere, a small scout ship has just landed in Sector D4 on Neptune's second moon. Out of the ship steps Cadet Happy in a spacesuit. In his hand, he carries a ray rifle, a harmless training weapon capable only of making a tiny dot on especially sensitized objects.
As he walks across the craggy surface of the satellite, Happy reports his actions into a compact micro-tape recorder that's part of his spacesuit paraphernalia.
Cadet Happy assigned to survival test problem 9, Neptune 2. Orders of procedure have been followed exactly. I landed the scout ship in sector D4 at 0800 hours. It is now 0803. My suit spacephone is turned off. I am now carefully proceeding south by southwest towards sector E10. So far, no sightings of enemy units. Oxygen pressure normal. External temperature 203 degrees below zero. Internal suit temperature plus 68. Normal.
In Pluto City, a studious-looking young man carrying a document case enters the office of Steve Hegdorn. Even Buzz Corey's close associates would have to look twice to recognize the Space Patrol Commander-in-Chief. Not only is he wearing civilian clothes, but he has modified his confident stride and allowed his straight shoulders to assume a scholarly slump. Looking up from his desk, Hegdorn scowls at his visitor in an intimidating manner.
Yes, what is it?
I'm here representing Mr. Morton.
Oh, so you're representing Mr. Morton, huh? You're his lawyer, I suppose.
Well, not exactly.
Well, if Morton sent you here under the impression that I'll dicker with you over his fees, he's mistaken.
I've got the money here, Mr. Hegdorn.
Oh, well, that's different. Let's have it.
Well, 5,000 credits, isn't it?
That's right. And you can just inform Mr. Morton that he'd better pay up on time after this.
Here's the money. Count it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000. Right. Now get out.
I'd like a receipt.
A receipt? I get it. Morton wants to be sure you gave the money to me, huh? All right. I'll just make it out for services rendered to Harvey Morton. There you are.
Thanks. Now, Hegdorn, you're under arrest.
Under arrest? What for?
Extortion and intimidation. Here's my identification.
So you're Commander Corey. I was expecting you, but not till later.
Usually I prefer a more direct approach to criminals, Hegdorn, but you've got your victims so intimidated I had to get evidence on you personally. Come along.
Get him up, Corey.
Corey, the man behind you with the ray gun is Bull Oakes. He handles my rougher assignments. I advise you to do as he says.
Get him up.
Sure. Now, what? Help me. Let go of that gun. Hold him, Oakes.
Corey's quick as a cat. Nearly broke my arm. You hadn't slugged him.
Stop babbling, Oakes. What kind of a bodyguard are you when I have to rescue you?
How did I know he was going to turn on me?
Keep an eye on him. If he tries to get up, slug him. I'm going to spacephone the Cobra and tell him I captured Commander Corey.
On Neptune's second moon, Cadet Happy cautiously works his way along the shallow fissure, from time to time reporting his progress and observations into the microtape recorder built into his spacesuit.
0857 hours. The black shadow of the mountain extends across this fissure 100 yards ahead. When I reach that shadow, I've just sighted an enemy scout. He's coming toward me. Apparently he doesn't see me because he's making no effort to keep covered. He'll be an easy target for the ray rifle. It's a shame not to warn him, but rules are rules.
Look, Cadet, put away that silly ray rifle and get out of that ditch. Your survival test is over.
This must be one of those special obstacles Commander Corey warned me about. This fellow may be an officer trying to trick me into breaking spacephone silence.
I'm telling you, Cadet Happy, this isn't a game. Maybe this will prove it to you.
Smoking rockets, that was no ray rifle. He's got a real blast gun. That shot chipped off a hunk of rock 3 feet away.
There, Cadet. That ought to prove to you I'm not with the Space Patrol. Your make-believe enemies are 5 miles away. Now throw that useless ray rifle down and come with me. Oh, and if you're wondering what's going to happen to you, well, that's up to the Cobra.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. This is Dick Tufeld in St. Louis reporting on the twin-jet Air Force fighter, the McDonnell Voodoo XF-88A. In a moment, we'll hear from the noted test pilot who flies this plane, Phil Houghton. Speed of the Voodoo is a military secret, but it's plenty fast. Wingspan is 40 feet, length 55, weight 10 tons. And now, Phil Houghton, recorded this morning at Lambert Airfield.
After seeing the voodoo, I guess you know why I like my job. There's one thing about it, though. A test pilot has to stay in good condition, get lots of sleep, and eat good, healthy food. That's why I like rice checks and wheat checks for breakfast. They've got plenty of energy in them, and they really taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So do as Phil Houghton, J. Ray Donahue, Jr., and other top test pilots do. Make your cereals rice checks and wheat checks. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, Test for Survival. Emil Gargoth, leader of the criminal syndicate known as the Cobra Gang, has learned that Cadet Happy is taking part in the Space Patrol survival tests on Neptune's second moon. Knowing that the test rules prohibit the use of suit spacephones, Gargoth sent one of his men, Rex Kralin, to capture Happy. Armed only with a harmless ray rifle, Happy was powerless to defend himself against Kralin's deadly blast gun and submitted to capture. Meantime, on the planet Pluto, Commander Corey has been overpowered by two other members of Gargoth's gang, Steve Hegdorn and Bull Oakes. Right now, Hegdorn is in a private space cruiser, heading sunward from Pluto, with Commander Corey lying on the deck of the control cabin, securely bound.
Hegdorn calling Cobra. Hegdorn aboard cruiser P3439 calling Cobra. Hegdorn here, waiting for further instruction. Come in, Cobra.
Cobra here. Go ahead.
Where do you want me to take Corey?
Send a vector toward Mars. I'll give you further instructions later.
All right, Mr. Gargoth.
Have you got yourself covered back on Pluto?
Sure. I left Oakes there to destroy all our records. Don't worry, there won't be anything to involve you.
See that there isn't.
You can depend on me, Mr. Gargoth. Incidentally, I got that 5,000 credits mortar node.
Destroy it. You fool, don't you realize Corey marked it so the Space Patrol could trace it?
I guess that's right. Oh, incidentally, Corey's acting pretty stubborn. He says he won't tell you a thing.
Oh, he'll talk all right.
That's what you think, Gargoth.
For your information, Commander, one of my men has captured Cadet Happy.
You're lying.
Am I? Right now, your cadet is in an underground hideout on Neptune's moon number 2. He was captured during the survival test. He'll talk all right, Corey. Or something very unpleasant will happen to Cadet Happy.
In the Cobra Gang's underground hideout on Neptune number 2, Gargoth's agent, Kralin, holds Happy at the point of a blast gun. Both men are still in their spacesuits, but with their face pieces open.
So you're one of the Cobra Gang, are you?
That's right, Cadet. My name's Rex Kralin. Gargoth finds my knowledge of the Space Patrol quite useful.
Yeah? How do you know anything about the Space Patrol?
I used to belong to the organization. I was dishonorably discharged when I was unable to explain how some of my buddies' belongings were in my possession.
A thief. A rotten thief.
Where did your honesty get you, Cadet? You're in a hopeless spot. Me, I'm sitting pretty.
Oh, are you? There are 20 space patrollers in this sector of the moon trying to find me. They'll keep searching until they do.
And they're armed with harmless ray rifles. I've got a blast gun.
Cobra to Kralin. Cobra calling Kralin.
Yeah, there's the boss. Now, you stay where you are. Remember, I'm watching you every second. Kralin here. Go ahead, Cobra.
Is everything under control there?
Perfectly, but how do I get off this moon?
Take the cadet and work your way back to scout ship he landed in Sector D4. And listen, don't let anything happen to him. I want him back here alive.
Okay, but suppose he gets tough.
Put him to sleep with a cosmic ray gun if you have to. Then carry him to the ship. I want Commander Corey to know the cadet is alive, so he'll do everything to keep him that way.
I get it. When Corey finds out we got the cadet, he'll come to terms.
He already knows it, Kralin. And what's more, we've got Corey, too.
What?
Hegdorn got him on Pluto. Corey's on his way to Mars right now in Hegdorn's cruisers.
Hey, that's great. Now we got... Hey, come back here.
What's the matter?
That cadet made a break for the airlock.
You blundering fool, go after him. You've got to stop him before he gets to the ship.
You aren't so cocky now, are you, Corey? Now that we've got Cadet Happy.
If anything happens to him, Hegdorn, I'll get you and Gargoth. It's the last thing I do.
The smart thing for you to do is to forget those threats and give Gargoth the information he wants.
Cobra to Hegdorn. Cobra calling Hegdorn.
Hegdorn here. Go ahead, Cobra.
Quick, Hegdorn. What's your position?
Near the Neptune orbit. Why?
That idiot Kralin let the cadet get away.
What?
As he's out of the hideout and probably headed for the scout ship. How long will it take you to reach Neptune moon number 2?
Oh, I'd say about 15 minutes, maybe less.
Then change your vector. You've got to make sure the cadet doesn't get to that ship.
But, boss, we can't land the ship there during those survival tests. Those space patrollers will spot us.
No, they won't break spacephone silence except in an emergency. And by the time they realize there is an emergency, the cadet will be finished.
What do you mean?
The cadet won't surrender to Kralin and blast him with the space torpedo. Get away before those men on maneuvers know what happened.
Listen to me, Gorgon. If anything happens to
You listen to me, Corey. Want to save the cadet, do what I tell you. Get on the space phone and order Happy to surrender to Kralin. Understand?
All right, Gorgon.
Hegdorn, switch to the space patrol frequency. I'm sure Corey will tell you how.
Okay, Mr. Gorgon.
And watch him. Don't let him try any tricks. Cobra out.
All right, Corey. What's the frequency?
672.3 megacycles.
Stand up, then. I'll set it. Go ahead.
Commander Corey calling Cadet Happy. Commander Corey calling Cadet Happy on Neptune number 2. Happy, disregard previous orders. You can break spacephone silence. Happy, can you read me?
Cadet Happy here, Commander.
This is urgent, Hap. Gargant's men have orders to keep you from reaching the scout ship.
I know. One of his gang is right behind me with a blast gun.
Better surrender. There's nothing else you can do.
But, Commander, I've got to reach that ship. I'm low on oxygen. In 5 minutes, all the air will be gone. Kralen's firing at me.
Hit the dirt, Hap.
That's enough, Corey.
Hey, darn you dirty rat, if my hands weren't tied.
Go ahead. Pull. Pull on those ropes. They'll only get tighter. Go ahead. Pull. You can't break them.
So I couldn't break them. Don't reach for that gun. I said don't reach for it. Just lie there and don't cause any trouble. I'm going to get this ship to Neptune number 2.
With his oxygen supply getting lower with every breath, Cadet Happy crawls across the rough, barren rocks of Neptune's second moon, trying to keep within the inky black shadows. Steadily, Rex Kralin advances toward him, blast gun in hand. A few hundred yards away, the scout ship rests where Happy landed it many hours before. A few steps more, and Kralin stands over the exhausted cadet. Carefully, Kralin adjusts the power control of his spacesuit transmitter, limiting it to the range of less than 50 feet.
I heard what you told the commander. Your oxygen is about gone. You'll never be able to make it to the ship under your own power, so I'm going to have to carry you. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm going to turn your transmitter volume down, just in case. If you're hoping any of your pals on maneuvers are going to come to your rescue, forget it. Even with you on my back, I can make it to the ship in a few minutes. Now, look, Cadet, you're about gone. So don't try to give me any trouble when I lift you.
Oh, okay.
All right, now. Hey, where's that light coming from? A spaceship. A private cruiser. That must be Hegdorn. And he's looking for us. This is a break. I won't have to lug you to the scout ship after all. Look at him come. Hegdorn sure knows how to handle the ship. Nice landing. It's only a few yards to the cruiser. Think you can walk it with a little help?
I'll try.
Now, come on your feet. This is a break. Now we won't have to worry about having to get rid of that scout ship. Well, the hatch is opening. Say, Hegdorn's coming to help me. Hegdorn, can you read me? Hegdorn. Hegdorn, use your spacephone. It's okay. There's nobody within 5 miles of us. That's not Hegdorn.
That's right, Kralin.
Commander! I'm warning you, Commander. Don't come any closer. The cadet gets a charge from this blast gun.
Kralin, listen. We've got to get Happy into the ship. He's nearly out of oxygen.
The decision is up to you, Commander. Let me get to the cruiser, then you get the cadet to the scout ship.
Can't you see there isn't time?
And it's just too bad for the cadet. I'll finish you with a blast gun if you take another step. Cadet, let go of me.
Drop that gun, Kralin. I've got a sharp sliver of rock in my glove. How would you like to have it jammed into your spacesuit?
Let go of me.
Drop the gun, or you'll be in the same fix I am.
You haven't the strength left.
Give me that gun, Kralin.
All right, now get Happy to the cruiser.
Go on, pick him up.
Sure, okay.
Now get moving.
Inside the cruiser, Happy quickly revives. With a fresh oxygen bottle attached to his spacesuit, he helps Commander Corey transfer Kralin and Hegdorn to the scout ship. Now, with Happy at the controls, they've just blasted off from Neptune's second moon and are headed for Terra with their 2 prisoners.
Either of them will talk, Happy. We know Gargoth is in Lowell City on Mars.
Yeah, the brainograph will clear that up.
Yes, but too late.
How do you mean, sir?
Cobra calling Hagdorn. Cobra to Hagdorn. Cobra to Kralin. Kralin! Either of you answer immediately.
That's what I mean. Gargoth won't wait around long enough to find out what happened to his...
Kralin! Hagdorn! I suppose you're listening, Corey. Well, I don't suppose I'll be hearing from Kralin and Hagdorn. So would you please inform them that their services are no longer required? Cobra out.
Are you going to answer him, sir?
Not now. What I have to say to Gargoth, I'll say to his face, and that day will come sooner than he thinks.
Yes, sir. Smoking rockets.
What's the matter, huh?
I never did get to that communications outpost. I flunked the survival test.
Oh, I'm sure you can prove you passed it.
I can? How?
The best proof in the universe. You're alive.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. How will you have them, Space Patrollers? Out of the bowl with cream and sugar, or out of the box for snacks? Well, in case you haven't guessed, I'm talking about Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. Tops any way you eat them, any time you eat them. Tops 3 ways. 1 for taste, 2 for size, 3 for get up and go. Rice Chex. Triple golden toasted shredded rice biscuits. Hollow inside, so they fill right up with milk or cream, and plenty luscious eating. Wheat Chex. Good whole wheat. Super rich in action energy. The kind of action energy that made Buzz Corey Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. Oh, you'll love Wheat Chex from the first to the last delicious bite. And remember, gang, Chex are made in that modern, bite-sized design for the easiest, breeziest, tastiest eating ever. So, Space Patrollers, this morning, tomorrow morning, every morning, have yourself a good, nourishing Space Patrol breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex in the red and white checkerboard packages with the full-color picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside and the neat, free Space Patrol trading card inside. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex, tops for taste, tops for size, tops for get up and go. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are trying to escape from a mansion on the planet Venus, where they're held prisoners by Emil Gargoth, leader of the Cobra Gang. Suddenly, Happy moves toward a large cabinet and opens it.
Wow, is this a break, Commander? Weapons, ray guns, blasters, paralyzers.
Take a couple of ray guns, Happy.
Something just made me go to this cabinet, a real strong hunch.
No, Hap, take the ray guns. Those are blasters. Put them back.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm not arguing, sir, but wouldn't the sight of a blaster have more effect on Gargoth?
All right, it doesn't matter. Let's get careful, Happy. You're pointing the gun right at me. Lower your arm.
I can't. Something's controlling my movements.
Happy, lower that gun.
I'm trying to. Commander, my finger is squeezing the trigger, and I can't stop it.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Secret of Dr. Borodeck, when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Ken Mayer, Norman Jolly, Bela Kovach, and Stephen Robertson. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol! Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program in your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are trying to escape from a mansion on the planet Venus, where they're being held prisoners by Emil Gargoff, leader of the Cobra Gang. Suddenly, Happy moves toward a large cabinet and opens it.
Wow, is this a break, Commander? Weapons, ray guns, blasters, paralyzers.
There's a couple of ray guns, Happy.
Something just made me go to this cabinet. A real strong hunch.
I know, Hap. Take the ray guns. Those are blasters. Put them back.
Well, yes, sir. Well, I'm not arguing, sir, but wouldn't the sight of a blaster have more effect on Gargoyle?
All right, it doesn't matter. Let's get careful, Hap. You're pointing the gun right at me. Lower your arm.
I can't. Something's controlling my movements.
Happy, lower that gun.
I'm trying to. Commander, my finger is squeezing the trigger. I can't stop it.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Secret of Dr. Borodeck. Plenty delicious, plenty good. Yes, sir, Space Patrollers. Those are the words I use when I talk about rice checks. Now, Space Patroller, how about you?
Who, me?
That's right. What words would you use to tell me how good rice checks taste?
Super Keen and Senior George. That's the way rice checks taste to me, Captain Tufeld.
Swell. And hey, how about that modern bite size that rice checks has? What do you say about that?
Just right for a bite with a real smooth fit for a spoon.
And that's great. Now you have yourself a good, nourishing breakfast with rice checks, and what happens? That's it, Space Patroller. Yes, sir, gang, that's exactly the kind of blast-off you get after a nourishing breakfast with rice checks. But any way you say it, any way you eat them, out of the bowl or out of the box, rice checks are tops 3 ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go.
For sweet whole wheat, try Wheat Chex.
Look for rice checks and wheat checks in the red and white checkerboard package with a full-color picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside and the free Space Patrol trading card inside.
Checks, rice or wheat, real neat.
And now today's Space Patrol adventure, The Secret of Dr. Borodeck. On 10 planets, Space Patrol agents are ready to pounce upon known members of the Cobra Gang. But the syndicate of criminals appears to have suspended all operations, and its shrewd leader, Emil Gargoff, has gone into hiding. The name of the dread organization seems to have been dropped completely from public minds. Certainly, it's far from the minds of 2 men who sit chatting in a comfortable mansion on the outskirts of Venus City. One is the wealthy and elderly Andrew Means, retired interplanetary financier. The other is his host, the youthful-appearing Dr. Clement Borodeck, a mysterious yet popular figure in United Planet society. After a lengthy discussion, Andrew Means suddenly turns to Dr. Borodeck.
Dr. Borodeck, I want to know your secret.
Secret? What secret?
The secret that has enabled you to live for centuries.
Mr. Means, are you sure you feel well?
Now, don't try to change the subject. You're a man of mystery, Dr. Borodeck. You live well. Your fine mansion here, your splendid laboratory, the freedom to travel. Now, I don't know how you get your money, and I don't care. But you do have something that I want. The secret of a long life. Life 2 or 3 times beyond the normal span.
Mr. Means, a man of your wisdom certainly can't fall for this superstitious gossip about me.
Doctor, I've had you investigated. I've done some of it directly in my talks with you. No man could know so much about so many things unless he had lived through them.
I happen to have a deep curiosity and a photographic memory, that's all.
Dr. Borodeck, I have documents to prove that you were living 125 years ago. Yet, today you could pass for 35. I will pay you for that secret.
Really, I don't know whether to be flattered or insulted.
Now, Doctor, I'm an old man. With the best of care and medical attention, I can't expect to live many more years. But you can prolong my life, just as you have prolonged your own. Tell me how, and I'll give you anything you ask.
I'm sorry, Mr. Means, but you let your fears and your desires deceive you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an experiment underway in my laboratory that requires my attention.
In his central office at Space Patrol headquarters on the man-made planet Terra, Commander Corey goes over reports from Space Patrol agents with Cadet Happy.
Well, from the looks of these reports, the Cobra Gang certainly seems to have gone out of business.
Yes, sir. Maybe we finally scared Gargoff into quitting.
He may have quit, but I haven't.
Yeah, but unless Gargoff does something or shows himself, how can we get him?
There are 2 reports here that merit looking into, Happy. A man of Gargoth's description was seen in Rectory City with a certain Dr. Borodeck.
Dr. Borodeck? Who's he?
Well, my personal opinion is that he's a fraud. He makes a specialty of getting into the good graces of important people.
Oh, hobnobbing with the elite, huh?
Yes, I think he's a confidence man, but he works so smoothly we've never been able to get anything on him.
Well, maybe Borodeck knows where Gargoth is.
Borodeck is the kind of a crook that has to appear respectable in order to operate. He might tell us what he knows about Gargoth, providing we convince him his own reputation is in danger.
Well, where's this Dr. Borodeck now, Commander?
He's got a fancy estate outside Venus City.
Oh, and we were blasting off for Venus tomorrow anyway.
Right. We just arranged to drop in on Dr. Borodeck.
In his mansion on Venus, Dr. Clement Borodeck walks briskly down the corridor leading toward his laboratory. But as he enters the room, his placidly confident face assumes an expression of worry and distrust. Seated before a control panel, a huge man glowers at a series of viewscope screens, each mirroring a view of a room in the huge house. As the big man turns, Dr. Borodeck's face suddenly changes. He smiles pleasantly.
Well, I see you figured out the controls for yourself, Mr. Gargoth.
Mighty clever setup, Borodeck. So while you're in this lab, you can see what's going on anywhere in the building.
Oh, I frequently have guests. It helps me maintain my reputation for being able to see into the past and into the future, just by knowing what's going on in the present.
Yes. I've just watched the way you handle Andrew Means. I'm afraid you went too far, Borodeck. You practically insulted him.
Of course. Nobody dares insult Andrew Means. When someone does, he's intrigued. Especially when that person has something Means wants.
Then you think he'll be back with another offer?
Of course. He's back in his suite in Venus City Hotel, brooding over the fact that I have the secret of long life. The secret he wants more than anything in the universe.
Yes. I'm amazed that he fell for the fantastic idea. He actually thinks you're 200 years old.
Why shouldn't he believe it? Didn't we make sure that his agents would find evidence of it?
How much do you think he'll pay for your secret?
If you'll let me work with him, all he has, but it'll take time.
How much time?
A month, perhaps?
I can't wait. If you can get me 1 million credits within a week, I'll give you a quarter of it.
Make it 300,000, and I'll include my latest invention, the robot suit.
Look, Borodeck, let's not try to bargain. I need a lot of money, quick. You can get it from Andrew Means without involving the Cobra Gang. But you couldn't get it from Means without my connections, my agents who planted the evidence of your immortal youth. Now, shall we quit stalling?
All right, Mr. Gargoth, forget the robot suit. I can easily find other buyers. I'll settle for a quarter of anything I get from Andrew Means.
Good. Borodeck, tell me the truth. Can you actually control the actions of anyone wearing that robot suit?
Of course. If you like, I'll show you how it works. We might even use it on Andrew Means.
How?
Have you thought of what will happen after Means buys my secret of long life and finds that he's still growing older?
What do we care? You can tell him he waited too long to use it.
That won't satisfy Andrew Means. He'll charge he's been swindled. There'll be an investigation.
Yes, you're right. Means has the influence to cause plenty of trouble. We've got to get rid of him before he knows whether your big secret is a fake or not.
Exactly. And with my robot suit, we can make it look as though Means met with a fatal accident through his own carelessness.
You mean we can make him do something that's entirely against his will?
Yes. The strongest will in the universe is powerless against the force that controls my robot suit.
Show me how it works, Dr. Borodeck.
An hour after they arrive at Venus City, Buzz, Corey, and Cadet Happy have complete reports from Space Patrol agents operating in the capital city of the planet Venus. In a special office at Venus City headquarters, Buzz outlines a plan to Happy.
As far as Borodeck is concerned, we'll be there to find out about a former associate of his, Anton Tolver.
Then you can bring up Gargoth sort of incidentally.
Yes, but even forgetting Gargoth for the moment, we might be able to stop one of Borodeck's dirty deals.
What do you mean, sir?
A very prominent and influential man has been visiting Borodeck regularly over the past few weeks. He's the type of man who ordinarily would spot Borodeck as a crook right off the bat and avoid him, but the doctor seems to have him fascinated.
Who is the man, sir?
An elderly retired businessman, Happy. Andrew Means. While he was active, he never had time to worry about himself, but now he keeps going from doctor to doctor, from specialist to specialist.
Is he sick?
No, he's in perfect health. But he has an obsession, Happy. He has offered doctors fabulous sums of money for every year they would guarantee to keep him alive. Naturally, no legitimate doctor has accepted this offer, but Borodeck is just the type who might prey upon the fears of a worried old man. Oh, come on, Hap. Let's go out and have a talk with Dr. Borodeck.
Meantime, in the library of Dr. Borodeck's estate, Borodeck listens while Andrew Means continues an urgent plea that's been going on for 3 hours.
It isn't fair, Borodeck. It just isn't fair. Now look at me. I haven't begged for anything in my life. But I'm begging you to sell me your secret. Sell me your secret.
Mr. Means, assuming for the moment that an extended lifespan were possible, what makes you think you would enjoy it?
What's that to you? Well, we learn as we live, don't we? But just when we learn to enjoy life to its fullest, it's taken away from us. Borodeck, people think of me as a fairly good man. Isn't that true?
Yes, Mr. Means. Quite good.
Well, I've made mistakes. Give me a chance to correct them. Extend my life, Dr. Borodeck. What will you lose?
All right, Mr. Means. What do you offer?
1 million credits.
When can you get the money?
I can have it here in 3 hours.
Good. When you get back, I'll administer the treatment.
Dr. Borodeck is apparently alone in his mansion on Venus City when Commander Corey and Cadet Happy arrive to question him. The doctor is quite at ease as Buzz and Happy stand in the same library where an hour before the elderly Andrew Means pleaded his cause.
Of course, Commander, I remember this Anton Tolver, but he hasn't worked for me since, a year ago, on Saturn, I think it was.
All right, Doctor. Thank you. Oh, there's something else I wanted to ask.
Yes, Commander?
Where is Emil Garga?
Emil Garga?
The man you were seen with in Mercury City 12 days ago.
I don't seem to recall Emil Garga.
And you've never heard of the Cobra Gang?
Yes, I've heard of it. But then, Commander, you have your sphere of interest and activities, and I have mine.
Andrew Means, for example.
Just what do you mean by that?
I understand Mr. Means has been visiting you recently.
Yes, he has.
Professionally?
Commander, I don't think that's any of your business.
Well, since you're so frank, I don't suppose you'd object to a brainograph test at Venus City headquarters.
A brainograph test? On what?
Your qualifications to be called doctor and your knowledge of Garga. Will you come with me?
Well, I
have a warrant, Doctor. How about it?
Really? This is most extraordinary.
Get your hands up, Corey. You too, Cadet.
That voice, Commander. It's Gargoyle.
That's right. And I've got a ray gun here, so don't try anything.
Oh, God. From your past performances, I know you aren't showing up to rescue your pal Borodeck. You could have escaped while I was taking him to headquarters. Apparently, you need time to put over a deal. A deal involving Andrew Means, perhaps.
You're pretty smart, Corey. Yes, Means will be here very soon.
Mr. Gargoyle.
Shut up, Borodeck. I'll handle this. Yes, Corey, when Means shows up, you'll have 1 million credits for me. Then I'll get rid of him. And you and the cadet will get the blame for it.
Oh, is that so?
I warned you, Corey. Borodeck, get Corey and the cadet out of the library before Andrew Means arrives. Get them into the robot suits.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles reporting on the first airplane with swept-back wings used in the U.S. Air Force, North American's F-86 Sabre jet fighter. In a moment, we'll hear from George Welch, the famous test pilot of the Sabre jet. The Sabre is 37 feet long, weight 8 tons. Wings are swept back at a 35-degree angle. Top speed more than 650 miles per hour. Now, George Welch recorded at Edwards Air Force Base.
I was lucky enough to fly the F-86 Sabre jet for the first time. The first time up or the 50th, every flight is important. That's why I have to keep in top shape. I like to eat good food with lots of energy in it. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex meet that test, and they taste exactly right. I think you'll like them, too.
Make sure you keep yourself ready for action, the way George Welch and lots of other famous test pilots do. Eat Rice Chex or Wheat Chex every morning. The cereals that are tops 3 ways. Tops for taste, for size, for real get up and go. That's Chex, wheat or rice. And remember, they're tops with America's top pilots.
And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Secret of Dr. Borodeck. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy have visited the mansion of Dr. Borodeck in Venus City, not knowing that the doctor is shielding Emil Gargoth, the head of the Cobra Gang. When Buzz asked Borodeck to submit to a brainograph test at headquarters, Gargoth suddenly appeared and knocked Buzz and Happy out with blast from a ray gun. Right now, it's an hour later. Buzz and Happy find themselves prisoners in a small, locked room.
Commander, look how we're dressed.
I was just noticing, Happy.
What did Gargoth do with our uniforms?
Evidently, his plan depends on our not looking like space patrollers.
Plan?
Remember what he said just before he put us to sleep with the ray gun? He's going to use us to get rid of Andrew Means.
Sure, but how's this outfit going to help?
I don't know. Let's try getting out of here.
Locked.
Luckily, Gargoth didn't think of removing my ring.
Uh-oh, the electronic key.
Right. It's an electronic lock in the door. This ring may solve the combination. I'll try it. A few turns of the settings ought to tell the story.
It worked.
Yes, the door's open. Now remember, Hap. Our job is to protect Andrew Means.
Yes, sir, but what with? We're unarmed.
We'll find something. Come on.
Borodeck, why are you puttering around here in the lab?
Just getting the props ready for the final act, Mr. Gargoth.
What do you mean?
I want Andrew Means to be impressed when he sees the miraculous potion that will make him live indefinitely. Here, what do you think of it?
Looks all right, but then anything would do.
I can't agree, Mr. Gargoth. When a man is paying 1,000,000 credits for a few drops of liquid, he should get his money's worth. You'll note that the liquid glows. Isn't that a beautiful violet light?
Yes. Is it poisonous?
Naturally, and quite sudden and painless. Andrew Means will never know he's been swindled.
And when Means is finished, we force Corey and the cadet to carry him out.
And over the cliff.
You're sure you can control their movements to that extent?
You'll see.
Speaking of Corey, he and the cadet should be conscious by now.
I'll check. Let's turn on the viewscope monitor.
They're gone. They got out of the room.
Mr. Gargoth, bring that robot suit control box here quickly while I try to locate Corey on the other screens.
All right.
Not there. There. There they are, in the downstairs hall.
Here's the control box.
You work it, Mr. Gargoth, just for practice. Whatever you do, keep them from going near that cabinet. I've got some weapons stashed in it.
They're just looking around now. Can we hear what they're saying?
Yes, and after we get them under control, you can talk to them. Just throw these 2 switches.
Look, Borodeck. You go down to the library and get ready for Andrew Means. I'll handle Corey and the cadet.
What do you have in mind, Mr. Gargoth?
Just leave things to me.
All right. You understand the robot suit controls, don't you? These dials and levers operate the cadet suit. The other set works Corey's.
Yes, I know. Watch me make the cadet turn to the left.
You turn it the wrong way. He's headed right for the cabinet. Here.
Well, I can do it. Just get out and let me alone.
All right, Mr. Gargoth, sure.
I wish I knew the layout of this house. Since we're unarmed, we've got to catch a Gargoth and Borodeck by surprise.
I hope we get them before they get Andrew Means.
Happy, what are you doing?
Going to this cabinet, I guess. Hey, this is a break, Commander. Look what's in the cabinet. Weapons, ray guns, blasters, paralyzers.
Take a couple of ray guns, Hap.
Hey, something just made me go to this cabinet. A real strong hunch.
No, Hap, take the ray guns. Those are blasters. Put them back.
Oh, well, yes, sir. I'm not arguing with you, sir, but, well, wouldn't the sight of a blaster have more effect on Gargoth?
All right, it doesn't matter. I'd hate to have to use a blaster, even on Gargoth. Be careful, Hap. You're pointing that gun right at me. Lower your arm.
I can't. Something's controlling my movements.
Happy, lower that gun.
Well, I'm trying to, but... Commander, my finger's squeezing the trigger. I can't stop it. Smoking rockets. Sure lucky you ducked, Commander. I'm sorry.
What in the universe came over you, Happy?
Well, I don't know. It was like something had hold of my arm. Commander, it's happening again.
This time you won't be able to duck, Corey.
Gargoth.
That's right. I'm in Borodeck's lab, right above you, watching you through a viewscope. But I can control every move you make. You're my puppets.
It's these suits. I can feel the fabric tightening on my legs.
That's right, Commander. You and the cadet are wearing Dr. Borodeck's robot suits. Under electronic impulses, the fibers contract just like muscles. I haven't had enough practice yet to control both suits at once, so I'll merely keep you lying down on the floor, Commander. Aim, cadet.
Happy, step on that strip of rug. Move quickly.
Squeeze the trigger.
Look out, Commander!
had to yank the carpet out from under your hat.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
You're only delaying things, Commander. And it won't do you any good to grab Happy's arm. I can still make him point the gun at you.
Happy, I've spotted the viewscope camera. The lens is right under that map of Venus on the wall.
I see it.
We tend to struggle. When your aim's right, pull the trigger.
Let go of that gun, Happy.
He can't let go, Commander. See, I'm easily controlling his arm. Lower. Lower. The gun is just above your head now. That, you clumsy fool! You've destroyed the viewscope camera. It's not going to help you any. I can't see you, but I can keep you from moving until Borodeck and I are ready for you.
My legs, I can't move them.
Just some of these controls. There. That'll hold the two of you. Oh, Commander, for your information, the viewscope screen from the library shows that Andrew Means has arrived. Borodeck and I arranged for you to dispose of him and yourselves. See you later, gentlemen.
Wow. We're really in a spot.
Yes. We've got to think of a way to break the control of these suits.
Yeah, but the control is up in the lab, and we can't move.
Must be a control center in the suit itself. A unit that picks up the impulses from the control transmitter.
But where could it be? This whole suit is just like smooth fabric.
Except across the chest. It's built up heavier there. Hap, can you move at all?
I could turn my body from the hips up. That's all.
Good. I'll try to roll over on my back. And you swing down hard on my chest.
And break the controls.
It's worth a try. All right, Hap. Swing hard with your fist. Try it again.
You sure you won't change your mind, Mr. Means?
You agreed to sell me some of the potion, Dr. Borodeck. I've got the money right here. Now, surely you aren't going to miss a few drops. After all, I'm giving you 1,000,000 credits.
Oh, very well. Inside this Endurium canister is a sealed flask.
Why, it glows.
Yes, Mr. Means. It glows with an immortal light.
What a pity there is so little of it.
You see now why I'm reluctant to part with even a few drops.
What if something happens to me on the way back to the city? Suppose the plastic container breaks. Do you have an Endurium container?
I think I can find one in my lab. But to be safe, why don't you drink a few drops here? Now.
Why, it's an excellent idea.
There's a small glass. I'll pour a few drops in it. Here, Mr. Means.
Careful. Thank you. Now, I just drink this. Is that right?
That's right. To a long life, Mr. Means.
Don't drink that, Mr. Means.
Corey! Now, look, what you've done, you spilled it. The most precious fluid in the universe.
Happy, watch Borodeck.
Yes, sir.
What's the meaning of this?
Calm down, Mr. Means.
Calm down, indeed, when the Space Patrolers have just
Mr. Means, I'm Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol.
You think I'm a fool?
I do, Mr. Means. You're all fools.
Gargle!
Don't move, Cadet. You either, Corey, or you get this blast gun.
Gargott, I thought you said you had him under control.
The control must have gotten out of adjustment. I brought it down here for you to test.
All right, keep him covered.
Dr. Borodeck, you mean this really is Commander Corey?
That's right, Means. He almost upset our plans. That secret liquid is just the opposite of a life potion.
If one drop of that stuff had touched your tongue, you'd be lying there on the floor. But if this robot suit control mechanism works, your finish will be more exciting.
Want to carry out our original plan then, Mr. Gargott?
Yes. We'll force Corey and the cadet to walk over the cliff carrying Means.
You can't do that. You can't.
For 1,000,000 credits, Mr. Means, I could do anything. Try the control, Borodeck. Make the cadet walk toward Means.
Fight it, Happy. The way I told you to in the other room.
Huh? Oh, yes, sir.
It's working. He's straining against the control.
What is he going to do?
He's going to pick you up, Means. Borodeck, control Corey.
The power in that robot suit, the cadet can lift Means with one arm. But I'll control Corey, too, just to show you how it's done.
That's it. You've got them both moving now, like puppets.
Okay, Hap, rush him. Okay, Hap, that does it. Pick up that blast gun.
Yes, sir.
Borodeck, why did you cut the control?
He didn't. We did. We broke him.
All right, Mr. Means. That stack of money is yours, I believe. Take it and hold on to it.
No, Commander. I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm going to give it away. This man here promised that this money would ensure me a long life.
I'm sorry, Mr. Means. This must be a disappointment to you.
No, not at all, Commander. In laboratories all over the solar system, Legitimate scientists are working on methods to prolong life for everyone. This money is going to help them.
It's a fine, generous idea, Mr. Means.
I never did a generous thing in my life. I'm going out of retirement and make more money for this research. I'll see that those scientists get results, even if I have to stand over them for the next 100 years.
You know, Mr. Means, I believe you will.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment.
Hiya, Space Patrollers. Cadet Happy here. You know, the Commander and I have been telling you all along that checks are tops for get up and go. So if you haven't tried them yet, grab yourself a good, nourishing breakfast in the morning with a bowl full of rice checks or wheat checks, and you'll see what we mean. Use just cream and sugar or slice up a big banana over them. Eat up, and zowie, you're up and at 'em like a real Space Patroller. But say, listen, here's another way I like to eat checks, right out of the box, anytime I get hungry. Yes, sir, gang, checks are top for snacks because they're tops for taste. Smoking rockets, nothing beats that swell toasted taste. Real keen and crispy delicious. And size? Man, oh man, checks are tops for size. Their modern bite-sized design is just right for easy eating. So, Space Patrollers, anytime you get hungry, reach for that red and white checkerboard package of checks. Pack them in your pockets before you blast off for play. Pack them in your lunchbox for a swell recess snack time. Checks, rice or wheat, tops for taste, for size, for get up and go, and tops for snacks, too. Space Patrollers, maybe you think you don't like salads. Well, here are some that are really different. One's called Funny Bunny Salad. Fun to look at, neat to eat. Made of cling peaches and cottage cheese. Teamed up with crispy, crunchy rye crisp. Smoking rockets, it's delicious. Tell Mom to look for these swell salad recipes and the fixings for them at her grocer's.
And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are in a surface car speeding down a highway toward Lowell City on the planet Mars.
Looks like we're going to make it, Commander. If anyone was going to stop us, well, they've lost their chance. Commander, look!
I see it, Hap. It's an atmosphere ship, and it's swooping down right on top of us.
The Cobra gang. And there's no way we can fight them off.
What they're waiting for. If that ship is armed, they're close enough to blast us to pieces.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Magnetic holding field.
Smoking rockets are picking up the car.
Well, help us. If they cut that field, we'll crash.
Be sure to join us again next week for the thrilling story, The Zero Ray, when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Ken Mayer, Norman Jolly, Stephen Robertson, and Bela Kovach. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Checks and Wheat Checks again present Space Patrol!
Space Patrollers, this is Commander Corey. Whenever fires, floods, or any disaster strikes your town, the Red Cross is right there to answer your call for help. Now, the Red Cross is calling on you to help keep this wonderful service rolling. I want all of you to answer the Red Cross call. Give your dimes and nickels to the 1954 Campaign Fund.
Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Checks and Wheat Checks, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are in a surface car speeding down a highway toward Lowell City on the planet Mars.
It looks like we're going to make it, Commander. If anyone was going to stop us, they've lost their Commander, look.
I see it, Hap. It's an atmosphere ship. It's swooping down right on top of us.
The Cobra gang. And there's no way we can fight them off.
What they're waiting for. If that ship's armed, they're close enough to blast us to pieces.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Magnetic holding field.
Smoking rockets are picking up the car.
Well, help us. If they cut that field, we'll crash.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Zero Ray.
Rice Checks are the perfect size. It's tops with all the guys. Fit right into a spoon, good to eat, morning, evening, and noon.
Well, hi, Space Patrollers. This is Captain Dick Tufeld, and that was George, the Space Patrol jingle maker, telling you in his way that Rice Checks are tops for size.
For flavor, tops, too. Those checks ring a bell. Any way you eat 'em, Rice Checks taste swell.
Tops for taste, you bet. A delicious toasted taste. Rice Checks will ring the bell with you, Space Patrollers, any way you eat it.
With a good breakfast or out of the box for a snack, eat Rice Checks, gang, for a quick comeback.
A quick comeback or a quick go-ahead. You get it after a nourishing breakfast with Rice Checks. Because Rice Checks are tops for get up and go.
If you like whole wheat, super keen and neat, make sure, Space Patrollers, the checks you eat are wheat.
Rice Checks, Wheat Checks, in the red and white checkerboard package, with the picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside and the free Space Patrol trading card inside. Rice Checks, Wheat Checks, tops three ways, for taste, for size, for get up and go. And now today's Space Patrol adventure, the Zero Ray. With Emil Gargoth at last in custody on Terra, Commander Corey has had every right to consider the menace of the Cobra gang to be ended. Even if Gargoth should stubbornly refuse to name his henchmen, the brainograph could easily reveal their identities and every detail of the elaborate structure of the criminal organization. But something has happened to prevent the immediate use of the brainograph on Emil Gargoth. In his central office at Space Patrol headquarters, Commander Corey fumes at the delay.
There isn't any excuse for this. I gave orders that Gargoth was to be watched every second.
Well, maybe he really did get sick, Commander.
Of course he's sick. Must have had some chemical concealed on him. Somebody slipped up when they searched him.
Well, anyway, he'll be out of the hospital in a day or so, and then we can give him the brainograph test.
By then, most of his important agents will know Gargoth has been captured. They'll have time to get away.
I guess that's right. But at least they won't be operating as the Cobra gang. There'll just be a lot of individual rats running for cover.
So much dependent on the fast closing in on Gargoth's leaders. I'll get that, will you, Ham?
Yes, sir. Commander Corey's office. Cadet Happy here. Yes, Dr. Arnold. Yeah, he's right here. Commander, it sounds important.
Yes, Dr. Arnold. What? But I posted a guard. I'll be right over. We've got to get over to the Terra Hospital right away. Gargoth has escaped.
A few moments later, in the office of the superintendent of the Terra Hospital, Buzz and Happy listened to a greatly distressed Dr. Arnold.
Before you question your guards, Commander, I want to accept full responsibility. Emil Gargoth was admitted here as a criminal and as hospital superintendent.
Just a minute, Dr. Arnold. The matter of responsibility for Gargoth's escape is secondary right now. I want to find out where he is and how he got away.
I'm sorry I can't tell you that, Commander. There was so much confusion at the time.
All right, Doctor. Happy.
Yes, sir?
Bring those two guards in here. I'll find out why they left their posts at the door of Gargoth's room.
I can tell you that, Commander.
Now, hold it, Ham. All right, Doctor.
They left their posts to move some patients that were completely helpless. Patients that I thought were in grave danger.
Danger from what?
Fire, explosion, I don't know. Things were in a turmoil here for a while.
What do you mean, fire and explosion?
Everything went crazy all of a sudden. From all over the hospital, patients were complaining that their rooms were too warm. The heating system was out of control. And then we discovered the water pipes were frozen.
Frozen? Here on Terra?
That's right. It's as though the electronic brain that controls our temperature systems had gone mad. Patients, nurses, even some of the doctors were panic-stricken.
You say the temperature controls went mad. What caused it?
I don't know. But I didn't want helpless patients to be hurt in a fire or explosion or whatever was threatening. I gave an order to my staff to evacuate the bedridden patients, and your Space Patrol guards elected to help. During the confusion, Gargoth disappeared. I have jurisdiction over this hospital, Commander. I declared an emergency. Your guards acted accordingly. I hope you won't be too hard on them.
Technically, they deserted their posts, but I think under the circumstances I would have done the same. As it looks to me, Gargoth took advantage of an accidental situation, or his gang engineered the whole thing.
I don't see how that could be. The hospital heating and refrigeration systems are automatic and virtually foolproof.
After I talk to those guards, suppose we make a complete check. Happy, call those men in here.
A few moments later, Commander Corey dismisses the guards and, with Dr. Arnold and Happy, examines the master temperature control unit in the sub-cellar of the Terra Hospital.
This graph on the control unit tells a story, Commander.
Up to 1,400 hours, everything was normal, almost a straight line.
Yeah. Then the heating chart swoops up to 140 degrees.
To freeze the water system and raise the room temperatures to the degree we experienced a while ago, well, the whole central regulating system would have to be out of adjustment. And as you see now, everything's normal.
Yes. Doctor, what's that device over there in the corner?
Oh, Frankly, I don't know. I never saw it before.
Let's have a look at it. Judging by the handles on it, it was meant to be portable.
It isn't very heavy, sir.
Well, Dr. Arnold doesn't know what it is, and it doesn't resemble anything I'm familiar with.
Me either, Commander.
We just take it to the security lab for a check.
In the rear-view scope of a private space cruiser, the bright circle that is Terra grows smaller and smaller. Two men watch it intently, moment after moment, without speaking. Then, with a sigh of relief, the larger of the two men turns to his companion.
Well, the screen's clear, Rensler. If anyone was after us, we'd have spotted them by now.
Yeah, I guess we made it, Mr. Gaga.
I'd like to know what's going on back at that hospital. I'll bet Corey's tearing the place apart.
Yeah, but what if we find a zero ray?
Well, what if he has? Does that mean he can trace it to you? Well, does it?
No, of course not. At least not right away.
Wait a minute. Do you mean there's a slight chance that the zero ray can be traced to you?
Now, look, Mr. Gargot, didn't I take a big chance getting you out of the hospital? Would I be hiding you out at my place at Meteor Lake if I thought the Space Patrol would reach out and grab me?
It's my policy to trust nobody. You may be sincere, Rensler, but you're not infallible. Your cabin at Meteor Lake will do for the time being.
Yes, sir.
When we reach Venus, I'll check with my agents for a safer hideout.
Back in his office at Space Patrol headquarters, Commander Corey examines a stack of diagrams and documents. From time to time, he pulls one aside and places it in a separate file. Buzz looks up as Happy enters.
Here's the Space Control Operations Report, Commander.
Okay, Happy. Incidentally, it didn't take long for the lab to find out what that gadget was for.
The one we found at the hospital?
Mm-hmm. It's a practical application of the Volkovsky principle.
Oh, it is? Well, what's the Volkovsky principle, Commander?
Well, as you know, heat is the result of rapid movement of molecules, either in a gas, liquid, or solid.
Yes, sir.
Some time ago, a scientist named Volkovsky advanced the theory that extremely low temperatures might be produced by an electromagnetic force that slowed down molecular vibration.
And this thing we picked up at the hospital does that?
Yes, Happy. It projects invisible beams that literally freeze everything they touch.
Oh. And that's what froze the water system.
Exactly.
Yeah, but wait, the rooms were overheated. What caused that?
The same device. One of the freeze beams was focused on the master thermostatic control. As you know, a thermostat doesn't think, it reacts. When it contracts from cold, it turns on the heat, trying to restore normal adjustment and equilibrium.
Oh, and this gadget fooled it.
Yes, when the central thermostat registered cold, the system kept pouring out heat.
Wow.
Fortunately, the device producing the freeze beam shut itself off before any real damage occurred.
Except that Gargoth escaped.
Yes. But Major Robertson found out something very interesting, Happy. He made a check through our records of everyone submitting designs pertaining to the Volkovsky principle. He found this.
It's too complicated for me, sir.
It's a preliminary application for a patent, presented 5 years ago by 3 electronics engineers here on Terra. The government board of analysts pointed out some defects, and everybody lost interest.
Well, there weren't any defects in that model we found at the hospital. Those 3 inventors must have corrected their mistakes.
No, Happy, they lost interest. The man who drew up their designs seems to have continued independently. The designs were drawn up by Ulrich Renzler. See, his name is on this drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie's positive that the physical work done on the freeze beam device is that of Ulrich Renzler. It matches that of the models of other types of inventions submitted for inspection.
Oh, then Renzler is working with the Cobra gang.
Either that or the Cobra gang stole the model from Renzler and planted it in the hospital.
Renzler. Hey, wait a minute. That operations report I just handed you. Could I see it a moment, sir?
Here it is, sir.
I know I saw that name here somewhere.
For the past year, Renzler has been living on Venus by Meteor Lake, supposedly on royalties from his inventions.
Here, sir, I found it. This ship that blasted off at 1432, private cruiser VP-738. It's registered to Ulrich Renzler.
I'll alert Venus Space Patrol, then we'll blast off of Venus. Let's see if anything's going on at Meteor Lake.
Several hours later, the Terra 5 roars high over the cloudy surface of Venus, spiraling around the Meteor Lake region 300 miles west of Venus City. Carefully, Cadet Happy adjusts the infrared viewscope scanner.
I can make out a construction of some kind, Commander. It seems to be on a slight rise of ground a few yards from the lake shore.
That's Renzler's cabin.
Uh-oh. And there's a spaceship. It's set down in a clearing just south of the cabin. It looks like the class and type of cruiser registered to Renzler.
See if you can find a place where we can land without being seen or heard from the cabin.
That's going to be tough, sir. Unless we want to hike through the hills several miles.
Let me take a look at that screen. That is going to be a problem. The lake would act like a sounding board if we came in close.
Yeah, and the valley would echo our rockets.
Now, wait. At the north end of the lake, there's an inlet. Sort of like a pointing finger.
Yes, sir.
That inlet is shielded from the cabin side of the lake by this curved ridge. A low gliding approach from the north might do the trick. We'd have to land on the other side of the inlet, but that bridge might dampen the sound.
Yeah.
Still means a hike nearly halfway around the lake. We stand a good chance of surprising Rensselaer and Garga.
Inside the comfortable cabin, Ulrich Rensselaer gazes out through the window, out across the lake. Smiling, he turns to his companion.
Beautiful, isn't it, Mr. Garga?
That's the third time you've said that. Look, show me where your space phone is. I want to make arrangements to get out of here.
Just as you wish. But you're just as safe here as any place.
I'm sure I heard a spaceship a while ago.
It's nothing to worry about. Possibly one flew over the valley several miles north of the lake, and the sound rumbled down. No one could get close to the cabin without our seeing them. And believe me, we could hold off an army.
Yes? How?
The same device I used to throw the hospital temperature control system out of order. The zero ray.
You mean that's a weapon?
Yeah. It's got an effective range of 1,000 yards. Turn it on any living thing for 10 seconds, and it will freeze it solid. Look, I'll show you.
What are you going to do?
Just watch. I'll turn it on. Better stand over there out of the way. Now, that's it. Now, you see those leaves fluttering in the breeze? Keep your eye on them.
They've stopped moving.
That's right. The smaller the object, the quicker it works. The zero ray slows the dents of any electrons down almost to a stop.
Wait. Look over there. Those bushes by the edge of the lake. Something moved.
Yeah, it's probably a deer. There are a lot of them in this.
That's no deer. It's a man. He's gone now, but I still has a Space Patrol uniform.
Don't worry, Mr. Gargard. This will take care of him nicely.
But he's out of sight.
That doesn't matter. A few sweeps of the zero ray across that clump of brush, and every living thing there will be frozen solid.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles reporting on the famous jet plane assigned to the vital Air Force mission of defending America's homeland, Lockheed's F-94C Starfire. In a moment, we'll hear from Tony LaVere, the well-known record-breaking test pilot on the Starfire. Within seconds after warning, this radar-controlled interceptor can be off the ground and streaking to 45,000 feet or higher. Packing 48 rockets, it can fly and fight in sunshine or darkness at speeds of more than 600 miles an hour. Now, Tony LaVere tape recorded this morning at a California air base.
You know, good health is important to a test pilot, and I have to stay in top condition. I get lots of rest and eat plenty of good food. That's why I like a good cereal for breakfast, like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They have real energy and they taste swell. Why don't you try them?
Make sure you keep yourself ready for action, the way Tony LaVere and lots of other famous test pilots do. Eat Rice Chex or Wheat Chex every morning. The cereals that are tops three ways. Tops for taste, for size, for real get up and go. That's Chex, wheat or rice. And remember, they're tops with America's top pilots. And now back to today's Space Patrol adventure, the Zero Ray. Emil Gargoff, leader of the Cobra Gang, escaped from the Terra Hospital with the aid of Ulrich Rensselaer. And now the two men are hiding in Rensselaer's cabin at Meteor Lake on the planet Venus. Hoping to take the two criminals by surprise, Buzz and Happy are cautiously making their way through the brush along the lake shore, unaware that they've been observed. From the cabin, Rensselaer is sweeping the deadly zero-ray beam over the vegetation, planning to freeze the two space patrollers literally in their tracks.
Something I could do with the rest. This heat is really something.
Yeah. Look at these leaves and branches.
What about them, sir?
A moment ago they were swaying in the breeze. Now they're rigid. Yet the breeze is still blowing.
Uh-huh. It's rippling the water on the lake.
Hey, look out, Happy.
Commander, if you hadn't warned me, that limb would have hit me.
Look at these leaves and twigs.
Smoking rockets, they shattered, just like glass.
And feel the limb.
It's cold. Cold as ice.
Yes. In the tropical weather of Venus.
This is a perfectly healthy branch. Now, why would it break off in a little breeze?
Because it's brittle. Hap, look over there to your right. See how those leaves suddenly stop fluttering?
Yeah. It's as though something were passing over them and freezing them.
Hap, quickly. Under the bank and jump off into the water. Hurry.
glad we jumped instead of dived. The water isn't even up to our hips.
Rensler and Gargoth have one of those freeze beam machines at the cabin.
Then they've seen us.
Probably. They aren't sure exactly where we are. They wouldn't be swinging the beam around like that.
I hope that bank is high enough to shield us.
It is. The beam is right over our heads now.
How can you tell?
That branch just above us suddenly stopped moving.
Well, look, sir. The tree on the left is still moving.
Yeah. Must have shut off the freeze beam.
They figure they finished us, huh?
We'll keep to the water and work around past the cabin, and maybe we can surprise them.
See? There's not a sign of them. They're somewhere in that brush, rigid as statues. Let's go and find them.
No. We're getting out of here right now.
What for? Nobody will bother us now.
Are you crazy? How do we know that a whole fleet of Space Patrol ships won't be landing here any minute?
Yeah, maybe you're right. But I still don't think Mars is such a good place. You operated from there for a while.
I operated from Lowell City. This place I've got in mind is a way off from everything.
Yeah, you showed me on the map. All right, Mr. Gargon, I'll load the zero-ray equipment in the ship. So
leave it here. I don't want to take time to bother with it. Let's get out of here while we've got a chance.
Wait a minute, Hap. Don't go any farther. I can see the roof of the cabin now. Got to be careful not let Gargoth and Rensler see us.
It's going to be rough, passing the front of the cabin. The bank isn't very high. There's no vegetation. Smoking rockets. There's a spaceship blasting off. Oh, they got away. I guess they knew that we dodged the freeze ray.
Not necessarily.
See, they're nearly out of sight already. And it'll take us at least an hour to get back to our ship.
Let's go to the cabin instead. The spaceophone Venus City to alert patrol ships to look for Rensler's cruiser.
I hope they haven't smashed their spaceophone transmitter.
Now, come on, Hap. Keep under cover as much as possible. For all we know, somebody may still be at the cabin.
Cautiously, Buzz and Happy worked their way toward the cabin, then softly approached the door, which stands wide open.
Maybe somebody's in there after all. The door's open.
Well, I've got to come out in the open now. Come on. I'll go in first.
It's deserted, all right.
Yes, it has all the signs of a hasty departure.
Yeah, they didn't even take time to pack. Look at all the stuff here. Yeah. Rensler must have thousands of credits worth of furnishings.
Let's look around. Maybe we can get a clue on where they went. I'll check over the desk.
Yes, sir. Say, here's the freeze beam equipment. Only Rensler calls it the Zero Ray. Zero Ray Model X1, it says here on the panel.
Uh-huh. Several notebooks here. I'll take them along to study later.
Commander, here's some numbers scribbled down. By the looks of them, they may be spaceophone frequencies.
Let me see them. Uh-huh.
And here's some maps, astrogation charts, and sectional maps of some of the planets.
Let me see those maps. Are there any special marks on them?
No, I'll check, sir.
There's a notation on this scratch pad that might mean something. The word Jupiter has been crossed out, and there's a word that looks like it might be Mars. And it says 150 NE-LC.
150 NE-LC. It doesn't mean a thing to me. Oh, Commander, here's a chart of sector H5, Mars, and it's got a mark on it.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a tiny cross. That's all arid desert in that region. Cross is between Lowell City and a nearly played-out mining area. Wait a minute. Let's see the scale. Happy, what if NELC stood for northeast of Lowell City? How far is that small X from Lowell City?
About 150... Say, 150 NELC. Yeah, it fits. 150 miles northeast of Lowell City.
I'll space it for Mars Space Patrol. We'll check on that area from very high altitude so we won't scare anybody away. Then we'll blast off for Mars.
Great. But I sure dread that long trek back around the edge of the lake to that ship. Why, if Rensler only had a boat, we could row across and save a lot of time.
It's all right, Hap. We'll walk across.
Okay, that's an idea. We can walk across the lake?
Sure. We can work this zero ray. Stand back, Hap.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to focus it right at the edge of the lake and turn up the power.
Smoking rockets. The water's turning to ice. A whole strip of it.
Uh-huh. A strip as wide as the freeze beam. After I make that spaceophone call, we'll carry the zero-ray machine down to the lake and make our bridge of ice ahead of us as we cross.
In the small sleeping compartment of his private cruiser, Ulrich Renzler tosses fitfully on his bunk as the ship streaks through space toward the planet Mars. Suddenly, he awakens with a start as a hand grips his shoulder.
Come on, Renzler, wake up.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Garga.
Who did you expect it to be? Nobody aboard but us.
Just jumpy, I guess. Do you want me to take the controls for a while?
Yes. That is why I called you. Your quick freeze ray didn't work back at the lake.
What? How do you know?
I overheard part of a space phone conversation. You know who that was trying to surprise us at the cap? Commander Corey.
Corey?
We not only missed him, but he's wise to our plan. He knows we're going to the desert outside of Lowell City.
No. How could he possibly know about that?
All right, don't get excited. I've got a plan worked out so we can finish Corey for good.
Wait, Mr. Garga. Let's leave Corey alone.
It's foolproof, Renzler. Corey's going to search the desert in a surface car. He figures he can pass for somebody connected with one of those mining outfits in that area.
Yeah.
We'll switch to an atmosphere ship at Hubble Settlement on the other side of Mars. Then we'll take care of Corey.
With Lowell City far behind them, Buzz and Appy roar over the Martian desert highway in a sand-scarred surface car. From their rough work clothes, they appear to be a couple of mining engineers on their way to one of the lonely quarries or mines on the Martian wastelands.
Gee, Commander, we've come more than 50 miles and we haven't seen a soul.
That's probably why Gargoth's picked this region for a hideout.
With this battered-up car and the surveying equipment, we ought to be able to get pretty close to his place without exciting suspicion.
That's what I'm counting on, Hap. With all those tools back there, we could be independent prospectors if we have to.
Hey, Commander, look.
I see it, Hap. It's an atmosphere ship, and it's swooping down right on top of us. If that ship's armed, they're close enough to blast us to pieces.
Hey, what's that?
It's the ship's magnetic holding field.
Smoking rockets. Hey, they're picking up the car. We're right off the highway.
We're helpless. They cut that field, we'll crash.
Well, the ship's sure gaining altitude fast.
Yes, it's too late to jump.
Are you all right, Commander?
It's Gargoth.
Listen to me, Commander. Switch your space mode to 478.2 megacycles. And don't attempt to contact Space Patrol headquarters or I'll cut the holding field and drop you. Understand?
Yes, Gargoth. I understand.
We are now 100 feet off the ground. Renzler will maintain this altitude until we are far away from Lowell City. Over the hills, I shall cut the holding field and drop you into a most inaccessible spot, miles from a highway or road. Chances are the wreckage will never be found.
Just how do you think you're going to get off of Mars? Every spaceport is being watched, and this is only an atmosphere ship.
I have a spaceship ready, and it's miles from a spaceport, Commander. Now, if you'll excuse me, Corey, I'll keep a sharp lookout for Space Patrol ships.
What a fix. Not a patrol ship in sight.
No. Sure, that spaceport switch is at the off position, Hap. I don't want Gargoth to hear us.
Believe me, there are a few things I want him to hear.
Gotta work fast, Happy.
What can we do? We're suspended under the belly of a ship 100 feet off the ground, and Gargoth will probably take us higher before he drops us.
Hap, reach back in that tool chest.
Yes, sir.
Is an atomo torch there?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now listen, right above us in Gargoth's ship is a small cargo bay. Now get busy with that cutting.
There's no other ship in sight, Mr. Garga.
Good, and we're at 250 feet altitude.
Then I have to make it nice and permanent.
All right, Renzler. Cut the holding field.
There they go.
I'll bank the ship so we can watch that surface car crash.
Boom. Some smash, eh, Mr. Garga?
Well, that takes care of Corey and his cadet.
It sure does. There's no doubt about it this time. We really... Mr. Garga.
Renzler, what's the matter with you? Have you... Corey, don't stand there gibbering, Renzler. Shoot them.
No, you don't.
Hey, Commander, the controls. Gargoth's trying to crash us. We're driving straight for a hill.
Hold Renzler, Hap. Okay, Gargoth, I'll take over.
Oh, we pulled her out just in time.
I'll take the ship into Lowell City, Hap. This time we'll make sure Gargoth doesn't pull any tricks and escape.
No, sir. He won't get a chance to dodge the brainograph test by going to the hospital either. Yeah, Gargoth, you're going to the brainograph with a clear head if I have to knock you cold.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Space Patrollers, you all know what sound effects are. You hear them all the time on your radios.
But listen to these musical sound effects and see if you can guess what we're doing with Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. Yep, Space Patrollers, there's a big bowl filling up with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. Man, oh man, it even sounds delicious. And it tastes even better. Those triple oven-toasted biscuits are tops for taste. Now we're pouring on the cream. Listen, you can almost hear those crisp, crunchy Chex filling up with that cream. And then for the first bite, wow, what a bite! Size just right. Because Chex are made in that modern bite-size design, makes them tops for size. Hey, that's you, blasting off for a big day of action after a good, nourishing breakfast with Chex, the cereal's tops for get up and go. So, gang, go get Rice Chex today, and get Wheat Chex, too, the official bite-sized cereals of the Space Patrol. In the red and white checkerboard package with the picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the outside, the one and only cereals that bring you a free Space Patrol trading card inside the package. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are in their spacesuits, advancing across the rocky surface of the planet Mercury toward the hideout of an escaped criminal.
Hold it, Happy. Something moved up there ahead of us.
It looked like an animal of some kind.
An animal on Mercury?
That's right. Well, whatever it is, there's another one.
Half, it's a small robot. Castro is probably using them to observe us.
They look like turtles, except that they move a lot faster.
We'll go back a few hundred yards and figure out another plan of action. Hank, look behind us. We're surrounded by them.
Yes, sir. Oh, my leg!
It's some kind of weapon. They're shooting pain rays right through our spacesuits.
They're closing in on us. Dozens of them. Commander, I can't move!
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Super Brain of Balmer Castro, when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey, and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Dever. Other players were Ken Mayer, Norman Jolly, Baylor Kovach, and Stephen Robertson. Dick Tufel speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Rice Chex and Wheat Chex again present Space Patrol. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Nestle's Quick for the greatest tasting chocolate milk and those famous Nestle's chocolate bars present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are in their spacesuits advancing across the rocky surface of the planet Mercury toward the hideout of an escaped criminal.
Hold it, Happy. Something moved up there ahead of us.
It looked like an animal of some kind.
An animal on Mercury?
That's right. Whatever it is, there's another one.
They're small robots. Castro is probably using them to observe us.
They look like turtles, except that they move a lot faster.
We'll go back a few hundred yards and figure out another plan of action. Hank, look behind us. We're surrounded by them.
Yes, sir. Oh, my leg!
Some kind of weapon. They're shooting pain rays right through our spacesuits.
They're closing in on us, dozens of them. Commander, I can't move!
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Super Brain of Balmer Castro.
Say, Captain Tufel, will you settle an argument for me and the gang?
I'll sure try, Tony. What's the trouble?
Well, sir, we're all fighting over which Nestle's chocolate bar is the best. Katie says the milk chocolate. Joey votes for the almond bar. But I say Crunch is the greatest. What do you think?
Well, now, Tony, that is a tough one. Because as everybody knows, Nestle's makes the very best chocolate, no matter which bar you favor. There's nothing as smooth and creamy as a Nestle's milk chocolate bar in the red and white wrapper. And the Nestle almond bar in the blue and white wrapper is the same rich chocolate loaded with fresh toasted almonds.
How about my favorite, Crunch?
I was coming to that. Nestle's Crunch is the really different chocolate bar with a mystery, crunchy consistency that gets crisper with every bite. It's really out of this world.
But which one do you really think is best?
Best? Why, any Nestle's bar is best, Tony. There's never any argument about that. So, gang, when you want the best in chocolate bars, you want Nestle's. You know what Commander Corey says? He says Nestle bars are tops in our ration because they have all the rich milk and sugar it takes to speed up your jets and give you extra rocket energy.
But, Captain, you still haven't settled our argument.
Well, tell you what, Tony, why don't you take this handful of Nestle's bars to the gang and tell them there's no use arguing. Just remember, Nestles. Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, the super brain of Balmer Castro. For nearly an hour, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy have listened spellbound to Dr. Ernest Blake as the great authority on the human mind describes his new invention, the cerebroscope. Dr. Blake, a member of the clinical consulting staff of the Criminal Rehabilitation Center on the planet Mars, has made a special space flight to Terra to report his recent discoveries to Commander Corey.
As I understand it, Dr. Blake, your cerebroscope can actually increase or amplify intelligence.
Yes, Commander. Its full applications and possibilities can't be estimated at present without further tests.
A moment ago, Doctor, you said you had increased the intelligence of rats with your cerebroscope.
Yes, from 50 to 100%.
Wow.
It's very interesting, Dr. Blake, but... Dr. Blake, have you experimented on humans?
Well, that is one reason for my visit, Commander. I want official permission to test the cerebroscope on volunteers in the Criminal Rehabilitation Center.
You mean on those eligible to be discharged as cured?
Naturally. It might be dangerous to increase the mental powers of those who still have criminal tendencies. Just how dangerous, no one can say.
I don't believe you've answered my question, Doctor. Have you experimented on humans?
I made one test. Or rather, my assistant did.
Who was the subject?
I was.
What were the results?
Before the experiment, I took several intelligence tests under supervision of my assistant. After just 5 minutes of cerebroscope radiations, I repeated those tests along with similar tests. Commander, my score was more than 40% higher.
Smoking rockets.
And you're now more intelligent than you were before.
Perhaps. But I don't know how permanent the effects are or in how many areas of intellect the radiations are effective. That's why I want to make more tests on others.
Dr. Blake, I'd like to look into this matter a little further before I make a recommendation.
Well, could you come to the Rehabilitation Center and examine the cerebroscope?
I'd like to very much, Doctor, but I can't get away for at least 2 days.
Well, I have some business here on Terra that will keep me here that long. Suppose I contact you day after tomorrow.
Fine, Doctor. We'll see you then.
A short distance from Lowell City on the planet Mars is the Criminal Rehabilitation Center. Here, one of the latest arrivals, Balmer Castro, is undergoing initial processing. He sits silently as the official interviewer, Rhoda Nexon, gives him routine instructions.
In this first test, a series of questions will be flashed on the screen.
Break it off, Rhoda. Break it off. Your attendants are gone.
Well, just to be safe, Mr. Castro, I think we'd better proceed with a regular test.
Now, look, I offered to let you use that cerebroscope on me in return for a chance to escape. Look, you give me that treatment, the sooner I can figure a way to get out of here.
I know, but we can't make it obvious that I'm helping you escape. I'm taking enough chances as it is.
I'll cover you, Rhoda. I'll make it look as though I forced you to help me.
Well, then at least take part of the test. We've got plenty of time. The attendants won't be back for 3 hours.
How long does the cerebroscope treatment take?
I'm going to give you 15 minutes of radiation.
And that'll make me the smartest operator in the solar system, huh?
Well, I can't promise that, but your brain will be at least twice as efficient as it is now. Shall we get on with the test?
All right.
A few hours later, in Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, Commander Corey gives Cadet Happy some astonishing news.
I don't know the full details yet, Happy, but Balmer Castro escaped from the rehab center.
Smoking rockets? How did he manage that?
That's the big mystery, Hap. It's almost as though he had the cooperation of the whole staff, yet we know that's impossible.
Commander, is it true about Castro? Is that why you sent for me?
Yes, Dr. Blake, it's true.
I can't believe it. No one has ever escaped from that Martian center?
I haven't pieced the story together yet, Doctor, but somehow Castro managed to deceive several key members of the staff. He literally walked out, or rather drove out in a surface car, and no one raised a hand to stop him.
I've had a strange premonition all morning, Commander. A strong feeling that something was wrong at the center. Since I took that cerebroscope treatment, my mind seems sensitive to thoughts of others. He must have had help to escape like that. Such a thing is unthinkable. Our staff is thoroughly reliable.
I know. And they're experienced in dealing with clever criminals.
This had to happen while I was away.
I haven't told you the worst part of it, Doctor. Your assistant, Rhoda Nexon, disappeared with Castro.
What?
And your cerebroscope is missing.
No.
It's true.
Hey, the cerebroscope. Say, wait a minute. Maybe that's the explanation.
How about it, Doctor? Could your device make a super-intelligent crook out of an ordinary swindler?
I can't say for certain. But I am afraid it's possible.
Well, still, how would Castro have known about the cerebroscope? And who would he get to give him the treatment?
That's what we're going to find out. Let's get to the spaceport and blast off for Mars.
An All Planets Alert has given every Space Patrol agent a description of Balmer, Castro, and Dr. Blake's missing assistant, Rhoda Nexon. At this moment, the escaped criminal sits calmly in a small apartment in Lowell City, Mars, while Rhoda Nexon nervously but expertly checks a series of test forms.
Haven't you finished yet, Rhoda?
Oh, yes, but I was just rechecking.
Why waste time? You know as well as I do that the answer tabulating system is foolproof.
These results are unbelievable. Fantastic.
Then I am a genius, is that it?
It's frightening. Your score is 28 points higher than the previous top rating.
Is that so? And who is the ex-champion?
Professor Maxwell Huxley, a descendant of a long line of geniuses.
So I topped old Huxley, huh?
Well, not in the matter of actual information, of course, but in intellectual potential, you're far superior.
Naturally. So the cerebroscope made me an all-around genius.
No. In moral values, the sense of right and wrong, you're still subnormal. Well, Mr. Castro, we've completed the agreement, so I'll be going.
You'll remain with me. I may have further use for you.
I don't want any money from you, Mr. Castro, and I promise I won't go to the Space Patrol. Just let me go.
You might as well stop begging, Rhoda. Your pleading has absolutely no effect upon me, except to irritate me. I don't trust you, Miss Nexon, and I have good reason not to.
Well, what do you mean? Didn't I help you escape?
You had no intention of keeping that promise, Rhoda. You merely wanted a human guinea pig for an experiment. Dr. Blake refused to test his invention on human beings, so you decided to take advantage of his absence and do a little research on your own. Isn't that right?
Oh, how did you know that?
And I was right. You didn't dream that Blake's gadget would make me able to outsmart you and the rest of the staff at the rehab center.
But I told you it would. Why would I risk getting in bed with Dr. Blake and losing my job? You've got what you wanted, a powerful brain and your freedom. Oh, be fair, Mr. Castro. Let me go.
Oh, you forget, Rhoda, that although my intellect is high, my sense of fairness, of right and wrong, is subnormal. Now, you're staying with me. Now, be quiet. I have to figure a way out of our present danger.
Danger? What danger?
I don't know exactly. But I have a strong sense of an opposing force. A powerful mind working against me. I think, in fact, I'm sure it's the mind of Dr. Ernest Blake.
Elsewhere at the Terra spaceport, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are ready to blast off for Mars. With them in the control compartment of the Terra 5 is Dr. Blake.
Instrument check completed, Commander.
Good. Dr. Blake will blast off as soon as we get the go-ahead from Space Control. Just relax.
There's something I should have told you before, Commander. I don't think there's any doubt that my assistant, Rhoda Nexon, is responsible for Castro's escape. Mind you, I can't give you a single bit of evidence for suspecting her of disobedience. Yet I'm convinced of it. What's more, I'm sure that before we reach Mars, I'll be able to tell you where to find Rhoda and Castro.
I hope you're right.
Space Control Terra to Commander Corey aboard Terra 5.
Corey here. Go ahead, Space Control.
Mars space lock is clear, sir. Space Control on.
Stand by for blast-off.
Standing by, sir.
Fire rockets.
Fire rockets.
Up ship and away.
Come on, Rhoda. Let's get out of here.
Space Patrol must be looking for us everywhere. For all we know, there may be agents out in the street right now.
There aren't. Our main source of danger is coming toward us now, from Terra.
How do you know?
Don't ask questions. I know a place on Mercury where we'll be perfectly safe. Right now, our enemies are roaring toward Mars. But they'll never arrive. They will destroy themselves out in space.
I just rechecked the vector computer, sir. We're 2 hours out of Mars.
That'll bring us into Lowell City at 1340. Is Dr. Blake still sleeping?
No, sir. The last time I went back aft, he was pacing his compartment and muttering to himself. When he saw me in the corridor, he slammed the door.
He's under quite a strain, poor fellow.
He's got me worried, Commander. How can he be so positive that Castro's in Lowell City? I think he knows a lot more about this escape than he lets on.
You'll find out how much he knows before very long.
You're not going to find out anything, Commander. I've got a blast gun here. Do what I tell you, or I'll use it.
Dr. Blake, this is hardly the time for a joke.
This is no joke, Corey. You're planning to hold me responsible for Castro's escape. But you're not going to hold me up to disgrace. Change vector.
Dr. Blake, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do what I tell you, or I'll blast both of you.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Come and get it! Hey, all you rocket jockeys, I've got something new and sensational to tell you about today. I mean Nestle's Quick, the greatest way to make chocolate milk you ever tasted. Quick makes the richest, most chocolatey, most delicious chocolate milk in all the universe. It's the same wonderful flavor as Nestle chocolate bars. Oh, just think if drinking milk would taste like that. Jumpin' Jupiter. And Space Patrollers, Nestle's Quick is just as quick and easy to make as it is delicious. You can fix yourself a tall, frosty glass of Quick in no time, anytime. Now, here's all you do. Pour out your glass of milk and then add 2 spoonfuls of Quick powder. Yes, sir, you heard me. First you pour in the milk and then you put in the Quick. Nestle's designed Quick to mix in a flash. It's never messy to make, and you don't have to beat it or shake it in special containers. And that special Nestle's chocolate flavor won't settle at the bottom or stick to the sides. No, sir. Quick is real chocolatey from the first sip to the last swallow. And Mom will be real pleased to know that Quick is fortified with vitamin D, just what you need for strong, healthy bones. And believe me, when Mom sees how you drink up every drop of your milk, she'll be glad to get Nestle's Quick all the time. Now, gang, here's how to get the official chocolate milk maker for all Space Patrollers. Ask Mom to bring home the big brown and yellow can of Nestle's Quick. That's Q-U-I-K, Quick. And then the happiest sound at your house will be the one that means great chocolate milk. That's the Quick call. Like this. Come and get it! Nestle's Quick! And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, the super brain of Balmer Castro. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are aboard the Terra 5, heading for the planet Mars with Dr. Ernest Blake, inventor of the cerebroscope, a device that vastly increases the efficiency of the brain. Through the use of this invention, Balmer Castro was able to outwit the staff of the Martian Criminal Rehabilitation Center and escape, taking Dr. Blake's assistant, Rhoda Nexon, with him. For some unaccountable reason, Dr. Blake is attempting to force Buzz to change the vector of the Terra 5.
I'm warning you, Corey. Don't turn around or I'll blast you.
Okay, Doctor, you name it. Where do we go?
Let's see.
Drop the gun, Doctor. I said drop it. There. It's okay, Commander. I've got him.
Nice work, Happy. I'll admit you had me worried when you jumped him.
Take a look at the gun, Commander.
Oh, he was bluffing. It's a ray gun.
Yes, sir. If it was a blaster, I wouldn't have dared risk it. When I saw it was a ray gun, I figured the worst that could happen to you was that, well, it'd put you to sleep for an hour.
It's a ray gun. What have I done? What have I done?
You haven't done anything, fortunately. But just what were you trying to do, Doctor?
I don't know. I must have lost my mind. Something made me do it, Commander. Some powerful force took control of me. Castro.
Castro?
Yes. I know he's used the cerebroscope now. I know it.
And you think he forced you to attack us?
There's no doubt about it. My behavior a moment ago, it couldn't possibly have benefited me. But it could benefit Castro. I tell you, I thought that ray gun was a blaster.
It's hard to believe that Castro could control your mind from a distance, yet he seems to have deceived and controlled the staff at the rehab center.
Yeah, there must be a lot more to this cerebroscope of yours than you told us, Doctor.
There's a lot about the human mind that we don't know. I tell you, Commander, Balmer Castro's mind is powerful enough to send a spark across space to my mind.
And perhaps you're sending a spark to his.
Yes, but not as strong. Remember, I was subjected to the cerebroscope radiations for a few minutes. Who knows how long Castro may have been under the treatment.
Wow.
Commander, Mercury. Change vector to Mercury.
Why?
That's where you'll find Castro.
Can't you help me? Yes, sir. He's unconscious, sir.
Take care of him, Hap. I'm changing vector to Mercury.
Some moments later, viewscope scanning beams sweep back and forth over the rocky surface of the planet Mercury as Buzz and Happy search for a trace of Balmer Castro.
If Dr. Blake is right, we should be over Castro's hiding place.
Should I wake the doctor, sir?
I don't think you could, Happy. A while ago, I gave him a short burst with a vapor injector to put him to sleep.
Smoking rockets. Is he getting out of hand again?
No, it was Dr. Blake's own idea. He's afraid that if his brain is fully conscious, Castro might become aware of it and know we were after him.
Oh, I see.
So immediately after the doctor got his mental fix on Castro, he asked to be put to sleep.
Uh-oh. Commander, look.
A grounded spaceship.
Yeah, in the black shadow of that peak. Without the infrared probe beam, we'd never have seen it.
Get our spacesuits out of the locker, Hap. We'll land and search for Castro's hideout.
Under the sun-baked rock of Mercury, Balmer Castro relaxes in one of the cool, comfortably furnished chambers of his hideout. His captive, Rhoda Nexon, paces the floor nervously.
Rhoda, sit down. Take it easy.
I don't like this place. How long are you going to keep me here?
Really, it could be in a far worse place. Even if it is underground, it's well lighted, with its own independent air-producing system. I've set aside a room for your private use.
Look at you, Castro. You fancy yourself a master criminal, and yet you're living underground like a mole, hiding.
That's only temporary. In time, I shall be able to go and come as I please.
Suppose the Space Patrol finds your hideout. You're trapped.
I'm not defenseless, Rhoda. I have a corps of alert and well-armed sentries guarding this place.
I haven't seen a living soul here.
That's right. I didn't say the sentries were living. They're small, highly maneuverable, and in some respects they think for themselves.
Robots.
Exactly. The robots could hold off quite a force until I escape through the cavern to the spaceship, if necessary.
I don't care how brilliant you are, Castro. You're still one man against organized society.
At present, I am just one man. But a true leader has no difficulty recruiting followers. I will draw them into me with irresistible force.
What's that?
I better lock you up for the time being.
What do you mean, lock me up? What's happening?
The robot sentries have sighted a moving object on the surface near the hideout. Before I go to the control chamber, I'm going to put you where you can't interfere.
Meantime, in their spacesuits, Buzz and Happy walk across the rough, oven-hot rock surface of Mercury, searching for Castro's hideout. Suddenly, Buzz grips Happy's arm.
Hold it, Happy. Something moved up there ahead of us. It looked like an animal of some kind. An animal on Mercury? That's right. There's no atmosphere. Well, whatever it is, there's another one. They're robots. Castro is probably using them to observe us. They look like turtles, except they move a lot faster. We'll go back a few hundred yards and figure out another plan of action. Hap, look behind us. We're surrounded by them. Yes, sir. Oh, my leg. There's some kind of weapon. They're shooting pain rays right through our spacesuits. They're closing in on us. Dozens of them. They've stopped now. It's almost as though they were watching us. They are, and so am I. It's Balmer Castro, I believe. That's right, Commander. I can see every move you make through the viewscope eye of each of those little robots. I can monitor you through any single robot or a combination. Now, since you seem so anxious to find my hideout, my sentries will escort you. Follow them. All right, Castro. First, drop your ray guns. Go on, or I'll jolt you with a pain ray. That's better.
Surrounded by the strange turtle-like robots, Buzz and Happy make their way across the rough rocks. Almost like living things, the robots occasionally break formation to avoid obstacles, but immediately close in again. Finally, Buzz and Happy enter an airlock with 4 of the robots scurrying in after them. At last, they're in an underground chamber, face to face with Balmer Castro.
That's it, gentlemen. Raise your face pieces.
All right, Castro. What have you done with Rhoda Nexon?
She's here, Commander. You will join her in a moment. You were directed here by Dr. Blake, I presume.
I thought I'd disposed of him out in space, but occasionally I still seem to make slight contact with his mind. Here, Rhoda, I brought you some company.
Space Patrolman.
Yes, Commander Corey and a cadet. Commander, you'll notice that the robots have stopped a few feet away from you. They're watching you. They're going to see that none of you leave this room alive.
Castro, what are you going to do?
I'm going to the control panel.
He's a fiend, Commander. A fiend with a super brain.
Did you help him escape from the rehab center?
I didn't mean to. Honestly, I didn't. I never dreamed anything like this would happen.
Let's not waste time talking. Hap, let's see if we can get out of here.
Maybe we can break down that door.
Oh! Hold it. We've got to knock out those robots. When we get close to them, they blast us with a pain ray.
If there was only something in here we could use for a weapon.
There's nothing. I've looked.
If there was only a rod or something, maybe we could flip them over on their backs and get out of their range. Hey, how about that chair?
We couldn't get close enough. Even if we threw the chair, I doubt that it would smash them. They look very rugged.
Yeah, there's nothing on these walls except a couple of mirrors. Nothing that would do us any good.
I'm at the robot control panel now, Corey. I'm gradually increasing the strength of the pain rays. In a few moments, you'll all suffer unendurable agony. You can't avoid the robots. Wherever you move, they'll follow you. Even when I'm on my way to my spaceship, the robots will continue their work.
I can't stand this.
Commander, she's fainted.
The girl is fortunate. I'm leaving now, Commander, with Blake's cerebroscope. I can't bear to watch people suffer.
A dirty rat. We can't fight those robots. But maybe we can trick them.
Oh.
Notice they avoid each other. It's a built-in reaction to keep them from getting in each other's way.
Yeah, well, that doesn't do us much good. We're not robots.
No, but maybe we can make these gadgets think we are.
Huh?
The mirrors. We'll each take one from the wall. Hap, hurry.
Yes, sir.
Hold the mirror close to the floor, Hap. Now, watch out. Don't drop it.
Oh, the pain is so bad I can hardly control myself.
Hurry, Hap. Hold the mirror so the robot's electric eye will see its own reflection. Like this.
Come on. It's working. They're turning away from us.
They act like they're going mad.
Yeah, they're running around like crazy.
Maneuver them away from the door.
That's it. Wow, are they confused?
Keep them that way while I try to break down the door. Here, take this other mirror.
Yes, sir.
Keep them at bay. Got it, Hap. Keep the robots off while I carry the girl out.
Okay, Commander. I've got them under control.
All right, Hap. I've got Rhoda. Hang on to those mirrors and back toward the door.
Yes, sir. They're following us, Commander.
I don't think that broken door will hold them, but the mirrors will. Hap, as you back out of the room, put that chair in front of the doorway and prop the mirrors against it.
Okay, Commander. Hey, it's holding them, sir. They won't come any closer than 3 feet from the mirror.
Let's find a spacesuit for Rhoda and get her to the ship.
Well, what about Castro and those other robots outside?
We'll smash the robot control panel. And we've got to get to Terra 5 before Castro tries to blast it from his ship.
Moments later, Buzz and Appy get Rhoda Nexum aboard the Terra 5, where the now fully conscious Dr. Blake is anxiously waiting for them.
Doctor, take care of Rhoda. Get her out of that spacesuit.
Yes, Commander. Is she all right?
She's coming around.
I saw that ship blast off, Commander, about 5 minutes ago.
It was Castro.
You're lucky, Doctor. If Castro had any space weapons aboard, he'd have blasted this ship for sure. Happy, prepare the ship for blastoff.
Yes, sir.
My cerebroscope. Did you find it?
Castro took it with him.
You were right, Doctor. Rhoda gave him a treatment. He's got a super brain.
With my cerebroscope, he can take other criminals and raise their mental powers.
Smoking rockets. He can form a ring of super criminals.
That's what we've got to prevent.
Yes, but what chance have we got? That tremendous intellect of his.
Don't forget, Doctor. No man is really smart if he sets all decent people against him. Happy, fire rockets. Up ship and away.
In just a moment, an action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Brought to you by Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages. Say, did you ever take a taste test, Space Patrollers? Well, man, oh man, it sure is fun when it's Chex you're taste testing. How do I know? Well, I just took one. First, I tested them with sugar and cream. Super keen taste. Then I added fruit. Super neat taste. Next, I tried them right out of the red and white checkerboard package. That was a snack test. And Chex, rice, or wheat for snacks can't be beat. Yes, sir, gang. I rate Chex tops for taste. You'll rate them tops, too. Next, I try them for size. Bite size is the just right size. Just right for your spoon. Just right for delicious, easy eating. Chex, rice, or wheat tops for size. You bet. And as for get up and go, gang, have yourself a good, nourishing breakfast with rice Chex or wheat Chex. And you'll be rated tops for get up and go. So, Space Patrollers, you take the Rice Chex, Wheat Chex taste test today. And I'm positive you'll agree, Chex rate tops 3 ways. For taste, for size, for get up and go. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex, the cereals with the super swell free Space Patrol trading card inside the red and white checkerboard package. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. A saboteur has just escaped from the locked compartment aboard the Terra 5. Now, with ray guns drawn, Buzz and Happy are searching the ship.
He still must have that special spacesuit on, sir. At least it wasn't in the compartment.
How did he get out?
Smashed the door.
Rough customer. Oh, there he is. After him, Hap.
Halt where you are, I'll fire. He's heading for the weapons compartment.
This'll stop him.
Wow, that ray gun never even phased him.
It's that suit. He's completely shielded. Come on, we'll have to tackle him.
He's in the compartment with all those weapons.
All right, Halcorn, come out of there.
Haven't get me. And you better have something better than a ray gun, but they can drop you if you take another step.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Test of the XK3. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston. Produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Norman Jolly, Virginia Hewitt, Ken Mayer, and Anthony Sides. Dick Tufel speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday for the new, exciting Space Patrol! Space Patrol was brought to you today by Nestle's Quick for the greatest tasting chocolate milk and those famous Nestle's chocolate bars. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, a saboteur has just escaped from a locked compartment aboard the Terra 5. Now, with ray guns drawn, Buzz and Happy are searching the ship.
He still must have that special spacesuit on, sir. At least it wasn't in the compartment.
How did he get out?
Smashed the door.
Tough customer. There he is. After him, Hap.
Halt where you are, I'll fire. He's heading for the weapons compartment.
This'll stop him.
Wow, that ray gun never even phased him.
That suit. He's completely shielded. Come on, we'll have to tackle him.
He's in the compartment with all the weapons.
All right, Halcorn, come out of there.
Haven't get me. You better have something better than a ray gun, because they can drop you if you take another step.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Test of the XK3.
One bowl of rice Chex. Here you are, Commander.
Thank you.
Me, I'll have wheat Chex.
Hi, Space Patrollers. This is Commander Corey.
And Cadet Happy, having ourselves a top breakfast with our favorite cereals.
Chex, rice Chex, and wheat Chex, Space Patrollers. Tops for taste. Terrific tasting out of the box or out of the bowl.
Smoking rockets, they're delicious.
Chex are tops for size. Size just right for easy eating.
You know something, Space Patrollers? That neat bite size makes Chex taste even more delicious.
Right, Hap. And, gang, a good, nourishing breakfast with Chex is tops for get up and go.
Official Space Patrol get up and go, just like the Commander has.
So go get 'em, Space Patrollers. Chex, rice or wheat.
In the red and white checkerboard packages.
With a picture of me or the swell picture of Cadet Happy on the outside and the free Space Patrol trading card inside.
Say, Commander, how about another bowl of Chex? This time, I think I'll have rice Chex.
Make mine wheat Chex.
And now today's Space Patrol adventure, the test of the XK-3. Commander Corey faces the problem of capturing Balmer Castro, a criminal whose already clever mind has been transformed into a superintelligence by means of an ingenious brain sensitizer. But as far as the public is concerned, the escaped crime genius is of minor importance compared to a coming race from Pluto to Neptune to test a new space drive for interplanetary flight. Even in Space Patrol headquarters on the man-made planet Terra, the race seems to have taken priority over the search for Castro. In his central office, Buzz Corey focuses a pinpoint tracer beam on a gigantic space chart as Cadet Happy looks on.
This will show you the relative positions of Pluto and Neptune, Happy.
Yes, sir. They're in opposition to the sun.
Right. As far apart from each other as they can ever get, nearly 7 billion miles, or more than 250 million DUs.
Wow, that'll be some race.
Mm-hmm. It's the longest straight line distance between any two relatively stable points in the solar system.
Yes, sir. But if the distance is the object, why not race the two ships clear around the orbit of Pluto?
That may come later, Hap. But if the XK-3 performs the way we think it will, no further test or demonstration will be necessary.
Well, then you think the XK-3 is sure to win?
Well, it's too early to be certain about something as new and revolutionary as the new space drive, Happy.
Well, from what I hear, nobody but a lot of old fogies think the Atlas stands a chance.
Well, I wouldn't call a man an old fogey merely because he puts his faith in something that's been proved dependable. The Atlas has covered billions of DUs with the standard drive.
I'd sure like to be aboard the XK-3, Commander.
No one is going to be aboard either ship. Each will be robot-controlled.
Oh, to keep the human element out of the contest, huh?
At the present stage, the XK-3 space drive isn't shielded against radiation.
Oh?
If the test is successful, shielding will be installed, but it will be pretty expensive to shield a unit that probably will have to be pulled apart anyway for a checkup. All right, Happy, suppose we forget about the race and settle down to work. Huh?
Yeah, that means Balmer Castro. Any leads on him yet, sir?
We're checking on his past associates.
Yeah, but now that he's got his super brain, he'll probably get himself a new gang. Crooks more in keeping with his high IQ.
That's undoubtedly what Castro wants to do, but it'll take time. Smart as he is, Castro can't go it alone. He's wanted by the Space Patrol. He'll need help. Obviously, no honest man will help him.
So we'll have to contact some of his old gang.
Right. The doctor's cerebroscope didn't put facts or knowledge in Castro's brain. It only made his brain more able to use the facts that are already there. Right now, he'll use that intelligence to gratify his old selfish motives and weaknesses.
Well, what are his weaknesses, sir, outside of stealing?
That's what we want to find out from his former associates. Let's contact Captain Damon and see if he's picked up any of Castro's old gang.
Elsewhere, in a small community on the planet Mars, Balmer Castro seems entirely unconcerned by the fact that he is number one on the Space Patrol list of wanted criminals. His penetrating eyes never leave those of his visitor, a tall, burly spaceship technician named Grant Halcorn.
You understand, Halcorn? You'll leave at once for the Pluto test base. Your traveling instructions are in this folder.
Well, look, Mr. Castro, I don't know about getting inside the base.
All been arranged. We'll have no trouble if you keep your mouth shut. Once you're aboard the XK-3, well, you know what to do.
I suppose they make a check of the ship before blastoff.
Of course they will. But they won't be looking for stowaways. Not in that gear compartment, smack up against the space drive unit. Now, they'll be too interested in checking instruments and controls.
I'm worried about that spacesuit, Mr. Castro. Doesn't seem like much protection.
It's been thoroughly tested. You'll have done your work and be out of the ship before a harmful dose of radiation has a chance to penetrate.
Yeah, if I can stand the exhilaration. That suit's awful bulky. Suppose I can't move to the escape hatch.
The XK-3 won't be given high acceleration until the flight's well underway. By that time, well, you'll have made the necessary adjustments to the robot controls to prevent acceleration.
Sure. Then I bail out as the ship crosses the Jupiter orbit.
That's right. Your jetpack will be sufficient to give you a trajectory away from the XK-3's vector, and I'll pick you up.
Okay, Mr. Castro.
I got this, Halcorn. I've got a considerable sum of money on this race. The XK-3 is the heavy favorite. If the Atlas wins, I'll have 10 million credits to set up my organization.
Now, don't worry. The XK-3 won't stand a chance.
Naturally.
Two days later, in Space Patrol headquarters, Buzz and Happy checked through data Space Patrol agents have supplied on Castro and former members of his gang. On the huge space chart, two small lights, one red, one green, move with agonizing slowness sunward from Pluto. Despite the temptation to watch the progress of the race, Happy diligently checks the reports.
What a bum this guy Castro is, Commander. Even his pals can't trust him. Here are 6 guys who've told our agents that if they even saw Castro again, they'd bust him in the jaw.
Well, they might have said that just for effect. Did any of them say why they were angry at him?
Yes, sir. They're all sore about the same thing. Castro made bets with him and then welched when he lost. But he always collected when he won.
Very interesting, Happy. Very interesting. We've just learned something quite useful about Castro.
We have?
Yes. He's a gambler.
Yeah, and very unsportsmanlike.
I'll notify our undercover men to keep an eye on suspected big-time gamblers. They'll need cooperation from local authorities on that. Gambling is out of Space Patrol jurisdiction.
Well, some guys will gamble on anything. I know a mechanic who's betting on the Atlas. Imagine a guy who's supposed to know something about spaceships, and he bets against the XK-3.
Well, perhaps out of sense of loyalty, Happy. You know how fond you can get of a spaceship, whether you fly it or help repair it.
Well, he's one of those old fogies who doesn't like anything new.
We must have a lot of old fogies in the universe, Hap. A lot of intelligent people think the Atlas will win.
People must be crazy. The odds are 20-1. And look at the chart, sir. The Atlas blasted off ahead of the XK-3, and already the XK-3 is gaining.
The race has just started. Neptune is still millions of DUs away.
Well, the only way the Atlas can win is for somebody to fire a space torpedo into the XK-3.
If you're worried about somebody blasting the XK-3, forget it. I've assigned patrol ships from every planet to guard the race vector.
Oh, the lucky guy that drew the assignment for Terra. Who got it, sir?
Happy, I volunteered to patrol the Terra sector, and now if you'd like to go along.
Would I? Smoking rockets? Well, yes, sir.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. The lead ship isn't even to the Saturn orbit yet.
Yeah, the Atlas is leading. But I bet the first ship we see is the XK-3. Here it comes, Commander, and right on vector.
Yes, fairly close to schedule, too. Adjust the viewscope sensitivity control, Hap. Let's see which ship it is.
Oh, it's the XK-3, of course. What else could... Hey. Commander, it's the Atlas.
Why shouldn't it be the Atlas? It blasted off first. It's the total elapsed time that determines the winner.
Well, yes, sir, but the way the XK-3 was gaining at first...
I'll check with Pluto. Commander Corey aboard Terra 5 calling Pluto Space Control, XK-3 robot testing section. Corey to XK-3 testing section.
This is XK-3 testing section. Go ahead, Commander.
The Atlas just passed Terra Patrol segment of the test vector, approximately on schedule.
Yes, sir. We've been monitoring the Atlas control section. The Atlas was thrown off a vector by meteors outside the Saturn orbit. Velocity was reduced, and vector changed to avoid meteors. The Atlas is now back on positive vector, but behind schedule.
What about the XK-3?
We are having trouble, sir.
What kind of trouble?
Well, Colonel Balmer thinks it's the space drive. Acceleration hasn't developed as it should.
Could it be the robot controls?
No, the Colonel doesn't think so. The new space drive responded perfectly beyond the limit of previous tests. But now there seems to be a dampening off, as the Colonel expressed it.
And you can't compensate by adjusting the robot controls?
We've tried that, Commander. The trouble showed up near the Jupiter orbit. We are in complete control here on Pluto, except that the space drive seems to choke itself off. The Colonel described it as a self-limiting function inherent in the drive force. Acceleration is becoming deceleration. But I would be glad to relay any suggestion to the Colonel.
Colonel Balcom is in complete charge of the XK-3. There are no suggestions. Corey, out.
Of all the rotten luck.
In his private cruiser, Balmer Castro carefully adjusts his spacephone receiver to a prearranged frequency, while holding a vector some distance from that of the test course.
Alcoin to Castro. Alcoin to Castro.
Castro here. Keep your transmitter power as it is. I can reach it.
If you got a fix on this ship, I'm going to bail out. I've stuck with this crate too long already.
Now, there was a reason. The Atlas was delayed by meteors. I didn't want the XK-3 to gain an advantage because of that.
She's choked down now, Chief. The more they try to accelerate her from Pluto control, the more she'll slough off.
Good. Bail out. I'll pick you up.
Listen, I'm only a speck in space. The momentum of the ship will carry me forward.
I can mentally compute your trajectory when you leave the ship. And don't worry. I may have to hold off until patrol ships are out of range.
I've got it in the viewscope, sir. The XK-3. But it might as well be a century-old tub the way it's blooping along.
I can't understand it, Hap. There's nothing in the short test of the XK-3 to suggest trouble like this with a new space drive.
Somebody in Pluto robot control is goofing up.
That's unlikely, Hap. Any defect in a robot control system would show up in the self-analyzer, the self-monitoring system. And you know as well as that. Hap, look at the viewscope screen, number 3.
Smoking rockets. What is it, a baby meteor?
I don't think so. At any rate, it's receding from us. No meteor was ever that shape. Get a vector on it, Hap.
Yes, sir. Hey, am I nuts? It looks like a man. A man in a spacesuit.
You're right.
Line him up in the vector computer, quickly.
Well, what in the name of Jupiter's moons is he doing out there? Now, I've got it, sir. Unless he's changed course with a jetpack or something, this is the way it lines up.
His vector would cross that of the XK3.
Yes, sir. But backtracking the XK3 vector, the ship and the man were at the intersecting point at the same instant. Either they came mighty close to a collision,
Or the man's trajectory began at the ship.
In other words, he was aboard the XK3. But that's impossible. Nobody could survive the radiation from the power unit. It's completely unshielded.
I'm changing vector. We're going to overtake that man. Get into a spacesuit, Hap, and then into the airlock. Get ready to pull him aboard.
In a few moments, the Terra 5 has adjusted its forward velocity to match that of the man in the spacesuit. In his own spacesuit, Cadet Happy waits in the airlock with the outer hatch open, ready to pull the man into the ship. Now the strange Voyager floats rigidly, like an inflated toy a few feet from the open hatch, as Happy directs Commander Corey by spaceophone.
I've got him, sir. I'm pulling him in.
Careful. Is he armed?
No, sir. He's got a new type of spacesuit. Thick metal. It looks like a... Uh-oh, my radiation indicator's clicking like mad. This guy's as radioactive as a ton of uranium.
Get him after the decontamination compartment, quickly.
Following Commander Corey's orders, Cadet Happy takes the unresisting captive to the decontamination compartment, thrusts him in, and turns on the radiation neutralizers. Half an hour later, at the commander's request, Happy goes back aft to investigate, then rushes to the control compartment.
Commander, he's gone. He's got out of the compartment.
What?
It's empty, sir. He must be hiding further aft.
I'll cut on to automatic control. All right, come on. Have your ray gun ready.
Yes, sir. He must still have that special spacesuit on, sir. At least it wasn't in the compartment.
How did he get out?
It smashed the door. But the radiation must have been neutralized. The decontaminator was off automatically. There he is.
After him, Hap. Hold where you are, I'll fire.
Commander, he's heading for the weapons compartment.
This will stop him.
Wow, the ray gun never even phased him.
That suit. It's completely shielded. Come on, we'll have to tackle him.
He's in the compartment with all those weapons.
All right, come out of there.
And then get me. And you better have something better than a ray gun, because I can drop you if you take another step.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. This is Dick Tufeld with news from Edwards Air Force Base, Muroc, California. I've got an interesting story for you this morning about one of the most unusual-looking planes in the sky today, the XF-92A, designed by Convair Aircraft, San Diego. Now, in just a second, I'm going to introduce you to the Air Force test pilot on that plane, Major Chuck Yeager, the first man to fly faster than the speed of sound. But first, I'd like to tell you a few things about the XF-92A. It looks exactly like a triangle. It's often called the flying triangle. Wings are swept back at a severe angle, 60 degrees. Top speed of this Air Force interceptor is about 700 miles per hour. Service ceiling is over 45,000 feet. And it takes some doing to test fly a ship like that. You need energy, plenty of it. And to face the risk involved, you need steady nerves. And now let's hear what a real test pilot has to say about it. Meet Chuck Yeager.
Let me tell you what it takes to be a test pilot. To start with, I have to be in good condition. That means get plenty of rest, plenty of exercise, and good food at every meal. For breakfast, I like a cereal that really tastes good and has plenty of energy.
Like Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, right, Chuck? Yes, Chex are the cereals that are tops three ways. For taste, for size, for real get-up and go. So make sure you keep yourself ready for action, the way famous test pilots do. Pick your cereal for flavor and for energy. Today, get Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. And remember, they're tops with America's top pilots. And now back to our Space Patrol adventure, the test of the XK3. Buzz and Happy, patrolling the Terra segment of a test race vector between Pluto and Neptune, discover a man in a spacesuit, hurtling through space on an angle from the course of the XK3. Buzz suspects the man has been aboard the robot-controlled XK3, but does not know that he is Grant Halcorn, hired by Balmer Castro to sabotage the experimental ship. When Halcorn escapes from the radiation decontamination compartment, Buzz and Happy fire their ray guns at him, but with no result. Halcorn reaches the weapons compartment of the Terra 5 and threatens to shoot the space patrolmen if they move.
You might as well put up those ray guns. They won't penetrate the suit. If you come a step closer, I'll put you both to sleep.
What'll we do, Commander?
This ray gun will work on both of you, even through the cadet suit, and you know it. Well, what are you going to do?
All right. Step out and let's talk it over.
There's nothing to talk over. Just keep your distance, Commander.
Just who are you, and what are you doing aboard the XK-3?
Oh, you figured that out, huh? Well, I don't think there's any harm in telling you now. Grant Halcorn, I was just making sure that the XK-3 wouldn't win the race against the Atlas.
Who are you working for?
What makes you think I'm working for anybody?
Because really smart men don't run risks of radiation burns, even in shielded suits. The smart boys hire chumps like you to take all the chances.
That's so.
Now, who would want the new spaceship drive to fail? Someone interested in standard drive ships?
Maybe.
No, Halcorn. Anyone in the industry would realize that one failure wouldn't stop progress. The only one who would benefit would be a man who would bet heavily against the favorite. In other words, a professional gambler. A gambler who refuses to take chances. Someone like Balmer Castro.
All right, Corey. I haven't got time to listen to you. Get moving, both of you.
I hit it right, didn't I, Halcorn?
I said shut up. Go on. Move forward. You too. So smart, Corey. Well, this time you're up against some real brains. Hold it. It's in this compartment. Never mind, I'll look myself. Empty. In you go, Commander. Go on! Yeah. That'll hold Corey. Now you, Cadet, you're coming up forward and show me how to work your space phone. I've got to contact a certain party. All right, Cadet. Stand right where you are. If you move, I'll put you out cold with a ray gun. Got it?
Sure, big shot.
Halcorn to Castro. Halcorn calling Castro.
Castro here. Go ahead.
I'll make it short, Chief. Aboard Corey's flagship, the Terra 5, but don't worry, I'm in charge.
You telling the truth?
Sure. Commander's locked up in a compartment, and the cadets here at the business end of a ray gun. Now, here's what I did.
I'm not interested in details. We haven't much time. Head for Jupiter's fourth moon. You know the place I mean.
Yeah, you bet.
Land and come aboard. And we'll blast off for Venus and wait there until my men collect the bets.
You'll collect, all right. The Atlas is sure to win.
I know. Now, change vector for Jupiter moon number 4 as quickly as you can. Castro out.
Right, Chief.
So the commander was right. You are working for Castro.
Shut up and take those controls. Head the ship to Jupiter number 4. Now, don't try any cute antics. What's that? The meteor alarm?
I don't know. Smoke on rockets is the air system. There's a leak in the hull.
Where?
Check the indicator. There, see where that red light's flashing?
Yeah, I see. Well, where's the damage?
In compartment 3. We've got to get there quick.
Take it easy. It's airtight, isn't it? You and I have got spacesuits on.
Yeah, but Commander Corey's in there. He hasn't got a spacesuit.
That's his tough luck.
Look, Halcorn, if you bring the commander into Castro alive, isn't that going to boost your stock?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, then hurry. If we act quickly, maybe we can save it.
All right, get going. Here's compartment 3. Close your face piece.
Okay.
Open the door. Hurry, Halcorn. We've got to work fast. Yeah. Hey, where's Corey? Where'd you go, man?
Drop that ray gun, Halcorn. Drop it. I've got him have your racer's face piece. Yes, sir.
And sit on him. He's hard to handle.
All right, Halcorn, just relax.
Now, take it easy, Halcorn. There's no hole in the hull.
Oh, that's a relief, sir. But what set off the alarm?
Thermostat in the bulkhead.
The thermostat? But it'll only sound an alarm if it registers excessive cold or heat.
It was heat that did it, half friction from rubbing my belt against it. Let's get Halcorn out of that spacesuit so it'll be easier to handle. And we'll get him up forward. And Halcorn, if you know what's good for you, you'll talk.
That's the straight truth, Commander. Castro's waiting for me on Jupiter's fourth moon.
First, I'd like to restore the XK-3's robot controls to normal.
There's nothing you can do about that, Corey.
The XK-3 must be virtually in free fall by now. If we take all the acceleration we can stand, we can overtake the XK-3 and correct those instruments.
How can we locate the XK-3?
Pluto Space Control is probably broadcasting periodic reports. Check that frequency. I'll get into Halcorn's shielded suit and be ready to go aboard.
By the time Buzz has donned the heavy, cumbersome spacesuit, Happy has obtained a fix on the XK-3. It is still hurtling on toward Neptune at a steady velocity, but of course losing ground to the still accelerating Atlas. With Happy at the controls and Halcorn securely bound, the Terra 5 gains steadily on the XK-3. Then Commander Corey steps into the airlock, ready to transfer to the robot ship. With the spaceophone transmitter at low power, Happy contacts Buzz.
We're alongside, Commander.
Ready when you are, Hap. Apply magnetic holding field.
Yes, sir. Airlock's joined, sir.
Very good, Happy. I'm going aboard.
Everything okay, sir?
Yes, Hap. I'm at the robot instrument panel now.
Can you fix it, sir?
Yes, but I'd defy anybody to figure out what was wrong if they didn't know exactly what Halcorn did in here. He's made adjustments that gradually cancel out the control impulses from Pluto.
I didn't think Halcorn was that bright.
He just followed instructions. Castro is the genius. He's figured out the right combination to dampen the controls. Something that wouldn't happen by accident once in a million times.
Wow.
I've about got it reset, Hap. It'll take several seconds to build up the balance, which is lucky. It'll give me time to get back to Terra 5 before the space drive takes hold.
I'll be ready to cut loose, sir.
Do it the second I give the word, Hap. There. That's the last setting. Stand by.
Standing by, sir.
I'm in the airlock, Hap. Disengage holding field.
Okay, sir. Smoking rockets. The XK-3 really took off. Are you okay, Commander?
Yes. I'll go back to the decontamination compartment and neutralize this radiation. You set a vector for Jupiter's fourth moon.
Following the directions of Grant Halcorn, Cadet Happy skims low over the surface of Jupiter's moon, number 4. Suddenly, below them, in a crater, Buzz and Happy see a private space cruiser. A few moments later, inside the cruiser, Balmer Castro watches with grim satisfaction as a figure lumbers across the floor of the crater in a bulky spacesuit. Then, as he hears steps in the airlock, he draws a ray gun and holds it behind his back.
Well, Halcorn, raise your face, please, and get out of that suit. It must be very uncomfortable.
Hello, Castro.
Corey, hold it. Don't move.
Come now, Castro. A man of your intelligence should know that a ray gun can't penetrate this shielded suit.
It might work at close range. You better hold it, Corey. I warned you.
Hand over the gun. All right, Castro. Get into a spacesuit. I'm taking you aboard Terra 5. And get this simple fact into that super brain of yours. One false move and I'll... Castro, get that suit off. And we'll put you back aft with your friend Halcorn. Prepare to blast off, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Well, what's so funny, Castro?
Oh, just amused. You know, when I'm discharged from the center, I'll be free of what you call my criminal tendencies. But I'll still have my superior intellect.
I hope so.
And I'll have more than that. I'll be a very rich man, Corey. And what will you be doing? Still risking your neck while every crook in the solar system hopes you'll break it.
Frankly, that's what I like. But what makes you think you'll be a rich man?
From the money I've won on the race. I can still collect, you know.
Happy, get the Neptune Space Control Channel, will you, please?
Yes, sir.
Bulletin, NY 459. Repeating for all Space Patrol units. Neptune City Space Control. The robot cargo ship Atlas has just landed at the spaceport completing a non-stop flight from Pluto.
See what I tell you, I won.
The Atlas arrived just 2 hours and 15 minutes after the XK-3 broke all records.
It's impossible.
The XK-3 with its new space drive roared into victory despite a long delay that gave the Atlas a 10 million DU lead. Official figures of the XK-3's record run will be released at 0900 Universal Star Time. Neptune Space Control out.
It can't be.
I don't believe in gambling, Castro, but this is one bet you're going to pay in full.
Ready for blast-off, sir.
Fire rockets.
Fire rockets.
Up, ship and away.
In just a moment, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure brought to you by Nestle's Quick for the greatest tasting chocolate milk and those famous Nestle chocolate bars. Hey, gang, do you hear this at your house? Come and get it! Nestle's Quick! Yes, that's the Nestle's Quick Call, music to the ears of every Space Patroller. Quick makes the most delicious chocolate milk ever invented. It's rich, it's smooth, it's super chocolatey. Tastes just like those wonderful Nestle's chocolate bars. And say, you can make your own frosty glass of Nestle's Quick in no time flat, anytime you want it. Because after you pour out your glass of milk, yes, I said after, then you just put in 2 spoonfuls of smooth chocolate Quick powder and give it a little stir. And, gang, that's all you have to do to make the chocolate milk that's real George. Mom will find Nestle's Quick in the big brown and yellow can, so ask her to get plenty because Quick is so full of vitamin D, it's better than good for you. Come and get it! Nestle's Quick! And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are testing a new spaceship out beyond the Saturn orbit. Suddenly, they find themselves on a collision course with another spaceship.
That pilot must be crazy. He suddenly changed vector right toward us.
He's not trying evasive action, so it's up to us. Fire starboard rockets.
Commander, he's still coming at us.
Hap, that ship is a robot-controlled guided missile. If we don't blow it up, it'll hit us. Stand by to fire space torpedoes.
Standing by, sir.
Fire 1.
Commander, the torpedo controls are jammed. We're going to crash!
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Image of Evil. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston. Produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kovacs, Norman Jolly, and Ken Mayer. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday for the new exciting Space Patrol. Space Patrol was brought to you today by Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, the bite-sized cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.